This is Daniel Rothman, and you're listening to Emergency Broadcast Network 91.48 FM. The time is approximately 2:47 in the afternoon, and I'm speaking to you from our secure broadcasting facility located on the 19th floor of the Meridian Tower in the downtown district. If you're just joining us, please stay tuned. We are your primary source for verified information during this unprecedented crisis.
Daniel, I'm receiving multiple reports coming through our emergency line. The situation has escalated significantly in the last 40 minutes. We have confirmation from at least 7 different neighborhoods reporting similar incidents.
Emily, can you give our listeners the most current information we have? I want to be clear with everyone out there, we are only broadcasting information that has been verified through multiple sources. We will not contribute to panic with unconfirmed rumors.
Understood. What we know right now is that emergency services across the metropolitan area are responding to what's being called a mass medical emergency. Hospitals in the eastern and northern districts have issued urgent requests for additional medical personnel. The National Guard has been activated, and we're hearing that military units are being deployed to specific zones throughout the city.
I want to address something directly to our listeners. Many of you have been calling our emergency line, and I understand the fear you're experiencing right now. Emily and I are here, and we will stay here as long as we can transmit. This building has backup generators, emergency supplies, and we are in contact with both civilian and military authorities. We will keep you informed.
Daniel, I have Michael on the line. He's reporting from the waterfront district near the commercial port area.
Michael, this is Daniel. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, Daniel, I can hear you. I'm positioned approximately 2 blocks from the main harbor entrance. The scene here is controlled but extremely tense. I can see at least 15 military vehicles, mostly armored personnel carriers, forming a perimeter around the harbor district.
Can you describe what led to this military presence? What are you observing?
About an hour ago, I witnessed health officials in full protective suits entering the fish market complex on Harbor Street. That's the commercial market where vendors sell directly from their boats. Shortly after, police began clearing the area, and then military units arrived. They've established checkpoints at every intersection leading away from the waterfront.
Michael, are there civilians in that area? Have they been evacuated?
That's what's happening right now, Emily. I'm watching families being escorted out of the residential buildings near the market. They're being loaded onto buses, standard city transit buses, and driven away from this zone. The military personnel are wearing protective gear, masks, gloves, the whole setup. Whatever they're concerned about, they're taking it very seriously.
Michael, have you been able to speak with any of the civilians being evacuated? Have they told you anything about what they've seen?
I spoke briefly with an elderly man who lives above one of the market stalls. He told me that early this morning, several people who work at the fish market became violently ill. He said they were vomiting, having seizures, and then they became, in his words, erratic and aggressive. He said he saw one of them attack a customer.
Daniel, I'm getting a call on line 4. The caller identifies himself as a medical worker at St. Vincent's Hospital in the Northern District.
Put him through, Emily. Sir, this is Daniel Rothman at 91.48 FM. You're on the air. Can you tell us what you're witnessing at St. Vincent's S?
Yes. Hello. My name is Garrett. I'm a physician assistant in the emergency department. I need people to understand what's happening. We received our first patient around 6:30 this morning. A man in his 50s worked at the harbor fish market. He came in with severe neurological symptoms, fever, aggression, confusion.
Garrett, are you still there?
Yes. Sorry. Within 2 hours, we had 11 more patients with identical symptoms. All of them had contact with the fish market, or with people who work there. The progression is rapid. Fever spikes within an hour, then neurological breakdown, loss of cognitive function, and then extreme aggression.
Are these patients being treated? Is there a protocol?
We've isolated them in a sealed ward. But here's what I need people to know. 3 of our staff members who treated the first patient are now showing symptoms. We use standard precautions, gloves, and masks, but it wasn't enough. Whatever this is, it's highly contagious. We're seeing transmission through bodily fluids.
Garrett, I need to ask you directly. Are hospital administrators coordinating with government health officials?
CDC representatives arrived about an hour ago. They've quarantined the entire emergency wing. Daniel, I have to go. Please tell people to stay away from anyone showing these symptoms. Do not approach them. Do not try to help them. Call emergency services and isolate yourself.
Garrett, thank you for calling. Please stay safe.
Daniel, that call is consistent with what I'm hearing from other hospitals. I have reports from Mercy General, from Community Regional, and from the Children's Hospital on West Side. They're all reporting similar cases.
Emily, how many total cases are we talking about?
Confirmed cases across all medical facilities. We're looking at approximately 160 patients as of 20 minutes ago. But Daniel, that number is from official hospital admissions. There's no way to know how many people are experiencing symptoms but haven't reached a hospital.
I want to be very clear with our listeners. If you or anyone in your household is experiencing sudden high fever, confusion, or aggressive behavior, do not go to a hospital emergency room. Call emergency services and follow their instructions. The hospitals are overwhelmed and you may expose yourself to additional risk.
Daniel, this is Michael. I'm still at the waterfront, and something is happening. Military units are moving in formation toward the fish market building. I can hear shouting, commands being given over loudspeakers.
Michael, are you in a safe location?
I'm inside a parking structure about a block away, elevated position on the 3rd level. I have a clear view, but I'm protected. Daniel, they're entering the building now. I can see movement through the windows.
Michael, can you hear anything? Any indication of what they're encountering?
There's gunfire, single shots, controlled. Then automatic weapons fire. It lasted about 15 seconds, and now it's stopped.
Michael, I need you to stay exactly where you are. Do not approach that building.
Understood. I'm not moving. Wait, there's activity at the entrance. Soldiers are exiting. They're carrying someone. No, multiple people. They're restraining them, but these people are fighting, thrashing. Even with 3 soldiers holding each person, they're still trying to break free.
Daniel, I'm getting reports now from the police scanner. Officer down calls from 3 different locations, all in the Eastern District near the market area.
For our listeners, I want to explain what we're doing here. Emily is monitoring emergency frequencies, medical reports, and calls coming in from the public. Michael is providing eyewitness reporting from the field. I'm coordinating all of this information to give you the most accurate picture possible. We are not sensationalizing. We are not speculating. We are telling you what we can confirm.
Daniel, the military has loaded the individuals into a specialized transport vehicle. It's reinforced. Looks like a prisoner transport, but heavier. They're leaving the area now, heading north. There are still soldiers entering the fish market building.
Michael, I want you to document what you can, but your safety is the priority. If you feel threatened in any way, relocate immediately.
Copy that. The perimeter is holding. Civilians are being kept at least 2 blocks away from the market. I'm seeing drones overhead now. Small surveillance drones circling the area.
Daniel, we're receiving word that the mayor is preparing to make an official statement. It's scheduled for 3:30, approximately 40 minutes from now.
We will broadcast that statement live as soon as it begins. In the meantime, I want to address the questions many of you are asking. What is this? Where did it come from? I'm going to share what we've been able to piece together from multiple sources.
Daniel, should I pull up the initial report from the Department of Health?
Yes, please. Our listeners need context.
According to a brief statement released by the city's Department of Health at 1:15 this afternoon, preliminary investigations suggest a possible contamination event involving illegally imported seafood sold at the Harbor Street commercial market. The specific species has not been identified, but health officials believe it originated from deep ocean waters outside regulated fishing zones.
This is where the situation becomes complex. We've been able to confirm through a source at the Harbor Authority that approximately 2 weeks ago, customs officials intercepted a shipment of unidentified fish species at the port. However, a portion of that shipment apparently evaded inspection and entered the black market supply chain.
Daniel, I have our marine biology consultant, Dr. Vernon, on line 2. He's been researching deep-sea species and potential pathogens.
Dr. Vernon, thank you for joining us. Can you help our listeners understand what we might be dealing with?
Hello, Daniel. I've been following the reports, and I have to say this is unprecedented. Deep ocean environments, particularly those beyond 3,000 meters, harbor organisms we barely understand. These fish live under extreme pressure, in complete darkness, in ecosystems isolated from surface life for millions of years.
Could these fish carry pathogens dangerous to humans?
Absolutely. In fact, it's probable. Deep-sea organisms can host viruses and bacteria that have evolved in complete isolation. No human immune system has ever encountered these pathogens. We have no natural immunity, no antibodies, nothing. If someone consumed infected tissue, or even handled it improperly, transmission is possible.
Dr. Vernon, the symptoms being reported include rapid onset neurological damage, extreme aggression, and apparent loss of cognitive function. Does that align with any known pathogen?
There are parasites and prion diseases that affect brain function. Certainly. Rabies causes aggression, but the speed of onset you're describing, combined with the apparent ease of transmission, this doesn't match any cataloged pathogen I'm aware of. This could be something entirely new.
Doctor, the question everyone wants answered. Can this be treated? Is there a cure?
Daniel, we don't even know what it is yet. Until it's identified, isolated, and studied, we can't develop a treatment. The CDC will be working on this, but the process takes time. Days at minimum, possibly weeks.
We don't have weeks, Doctor.
I know. I'm sorry. The best advice I can give is containment. Keep infected individuals isolated, prevent transmission, and hope the medical community can work fast enough.
Dr. Vernon, thank you. Please stay available if we need your expertise again.
Daniel, Michael is calling back in. Something's happening at the waterfront.
Daniel, Emily, the situation has changed drastically. The military has expanded the perimeter. They're now clearing buildings in a 6-block radius from the fish market. I'm watching soldiers going door to door, evacuating residents immediately.
Is this evacuation orderly?
It's controlled but urgent. Families are being given minutes to grab essential items and leave. The buses are loading continuously, departing as soon as they're full. I estimate they've evacuated several hundred people in the last 20 minutes.
Michael, where are these buses going?
I don't know. They're heading west, away from the coast, but I can't follow them from here. Daniel, there's something else. I'm seeing military units setting up equipment at the perimeter. It looks like they're preparing for a long-term containment operation. I see medical tents being erected, generators being positioned, lighting equipment.
They're digging in. This isn't a temporary measure.
That's my assessment. Whatever they think is inside that zone, they're preparing to keep it contained for an extended period.
Daniel, I'm receiving reports from the Eastern District now. Police have closed all major roads leading into the harbor area. Traffic is being redirected. Emergency vehicles only are being allowed through the checkpoints.
I'm looking at a map of the city right now. If they're establishing a 6-block containment zone around the harbor, that's approximately 12,000 residents being displaced. Emily, are there any announcements about where these people are being taken?
Nothing official yet, but I'm hearing chatter on emergency channels about temporary shelters being set up at school gymnasiums and community centers in the Western districts.
For our listeners in the affected area, if authorities come to your door and request evacuation, please comply immediately. Take essential medication and basic supplies. Do not resist. These measures are for your protection.
Daniel, I need to relocate. Military personnel are moving through this parking structure now, clearing it floor by floor. They've spotted me and are ordering me to evacuate the area.
Michael, go with them. Follow their instructions. Call us back when you're clear and can find another observation point.
Understood. I'm moving now.
Daniel, the police scanner is extremely active. I'm hearing calls from all over the city now, not just the harbor district. Reports of violent individuals, people attacking others. The descriptions match what we heard earlier.
Are these confirmed cases or panic?
I can't distinguish. The calls are coming in so fast that dispatchers are having trouble keeping up. But Daniel, listen to this. There's a call from the north end, someone reporting their neighbor became violent after returning from the hospital. Another call from the west side, a bus driver saying a passenger became aggressive and bit another passenger.
The hospital. People who were exposed at the hospitals are now out in the community. Emily, we need to get a statement from the Department of Health immediately. We need to know if people who visited emergency rooms are potential carriers.
I'll try to reach them. Our direct line to the city's Emergency Operations Center is busy, but I'll keep trying.
Listeners, I'm going to give you information that may be difficult to hear, but you need to understand the reality we're facing. Based on what we're learning, this infection spreads through bodily fluids. That means blood, saliva, any secretion from an infected person. If someone is showing symptoms, high fever, aggression, confusion, you must not come into physical contact with them.
Daniel, I have someone from the Department of Health on line 3.
Put them through. This is Daniel Rothman at 91.48 FM. Who am I speaking with?
This is Deputy Director Lambert from the Department of Health. I'm calling to provide an official update for your listeners.
Deputy Director, thank you. Can you confirm the nature of what we're dealing with?
At this time, we can confirm that a viral pathogen has been identified in multiple patients across the city. This virus is extremely aggressive and is transmitted through contact with bodily fluids from infected individuals. We are coordinating with the CDC and the military to contain the outbreak.
How many confirmed cases do we have at this hour?
As of 3 p.m., we have 247 confirmed cases in medical facilities and approximately 90 additional suspected cases being transported to isolation units.
Deputy Director, what about people who visited hospitals and then left? Are they at risk? Are others at risk from them?
Anyone who had contact with symptomatic individuals should self-quarantine immediately and monitor for symptoms. The incubation period appears to be extremely short, between 1 and 4 hours from exposure to symptom onset. If you visited a hospital emergency room in the last 12 hours, isolate yourself from others and watch for fever.
Deputy Director Lambert, I need to ask directly, are we looking at a quarantine scenario for the entire city?
That decision is above my authority. The mayor and the governor are in consultation with federal officials right now. I can tell you that containment protocols are being implemented in affected areas, and residents should prepare for possible movement restrictions.
What does that mean in practical terms?
It means stay in your homes, avoid contact with others, do not travel unless absolutely necessary. Stock essential supplies if possible, but do not mass gather at stores. We are working to maintain supply chains for food and medicine.
Deputy Director, one more question. What are people supposed to do if someone in their home becomes symptomatic?
Isolate that person immediately in a separate room if possible. Do not touch them. Call emergency services and describe the symptoms. Wait for professional medical teams. Do not attempt to transport them yourself. I cannot stress this enough. Do not become a vector for this virus by moving through the community with an infected person.
Deputy Director Lambert, thank you for this information. Will you be available for follow-up questions?
Our emergency line will remain staffed. I have to go. Please continue to broadcast accurate information. False rumors are creating additional problems for emergency responders.
You have my word.
Daniel, the mayor's statement has been moved up. It's beginning in 5 minutes.
We'll go to that live. In the meantime, let me recap what we know. A viral pathogen origin traced to illegally sold deep-sea fish from the harbor market has infected hundreds of people. The infection spreads through bodily fluids, progresses rapidly, and causes severe neurological symptoms including aggression and loss of cognitive function. Military and health authorities have quarantined the harbor district and are establishing isolation protocols citywide. The situation is serious, but authorities are responding.
Daniel, the mayor is speaking now. I'm patching it through.
This is Mayor Hendricks speaking to all residents of our city. I'm addressing you from the Emergency Operations Center with an urgent message. As many of you are aware, we are facing a significant public health crisis. A dangerous viral infection has been detected in our community and it is spreading rapidly. I am declaring a state of emergency effective immediately. By executive order, I am implementing the following measures. All residents must remain in their homes unless engaged in essential activities. A curfew is now in effect from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. All businesses except grocery stores, pharmacies, and medical facilities will close at 6 p.m. today. Public transportation will operate on a reduced emergency schedule. I am requesting the governor activate additional National Guard units to assist with enforcement and support operations. I understand this is frightening. I understand you have questions. We are doing everything possible to protect you and your families. Please trust the process, follow instructions from authorities, and look after your neighbors while maintaining safe distance. More information will be provided as it becomes available. Stay tuned to emergency broadcasts for updates. You just heard Mayor Hendricks implementing emergency measures for our city. Emily, what's the immediate impact of these orders?
Daniel, we're essentially looking at a city lockdown beginning in approximately 3 hours. The curfew means everyone must be home by 8 p.m. That's going to create chaos as people rush to get supplies and return home.
Which is exactly the wrong response. Listeners, please do not mass gather at stores. Do not create crowding situations where this virus can spread more easily. If you have food for tonight and tomorrow, stay home. Assess what you truly need.
Daniel, this is Michael. I've been escorted to a checkpoint about 8 blocks from the harbor. I can still see the containment zone from here. Since the mayor's announcement, I'm watching the military presence increase significantly. I count at least 40 additional vehicles arriving in the last 10 minutes.
Michael, describe the checkpoint you're at.
It's a full military checkpoint. Concrete barriers, armed soldiers, vehicle inspection stations. They're stopping every car trying to leave the zone, checking IDs, asking health screening questions. Anyone showing any signs of illness is being pulled aside for medical evaluation.
Michael, are people trying to leave?
Yes, there's a steady stream of vehicles. Some people are on foot, carrying bags, clearly evacuating. The military is allowing them through after screening, but it's a slow process. I'm seeing frustration, people arguing with soldiers, demanding to be let through faster.
That's understandable, but dangerous. Michael, can you observe how the soldiers are handling aggressive individuals?
They're maintaining professional distance. I saw one situation where a man tried to push past the barrier. 4 soldiers immediately restrained him without striking him. They moved him to a holding area where medical personnel in protective suits evaluated him. He's still there, arguing, but he's not being released.
Daniel, I'm getting calls from listeners now. The volume is overwhelming. I have people asking about medication, about elderly relatives, about pets, about their jobs.
We need to address the most critical concerns. Emily, let's take a few calls and try to provide useful information.
First caller is asking about his mother, who lives alone in the Eastern District near the containment zone. He wants to know if he should go get her.
If your mother is inside the quarantine zone, you cannot reach her right now. The military will not allow entry. If she's outside the zone but nearby, you need to make a decision based on her health and mobility. If she's capable of sheltering in place with adequate supplies, it may be safer for both of you if you stay separated. Phone her, make sure she has food and medication, and stay in contact. Do not risk exposing yourself or her by traveling unless absolutely necessary.
Next caller is asking about insulin. His wife is diabetic and they have a 3-day supply.
Pharmacies are designated essential businesses and will remain open. However, I would advise calling your pharmacy first to confirm they have stock before traveling there. If they're out, call your doctor's office and explain the emergency. They may be able to authorize a transfer to another pharmacy or contact emergency medical services for help. Emily, make a note. We need to get information about medical supply distribution.
I'm on it. I'll contact the Department of Health again.
The time is now 3:47 p.m. The curfew begins in 4 hours and 13 minutes. If you need to travel for essential supplies, plan your trip now. Get what you need and return home directly. Do not make multiple stops. Minimize your time in public spaces.
Daniel, I'm observing something concerning. A crowd is forming at this checkpoint. People on the inside of the zone demanding to be let out. It's at least 200 people now, maybe more. They're pushing against the barriers.
Michael, you need to move back. If that situation turns violent, you cannot be in the middle of it.
I'm already moving, finding cover behind a building. I can still observe, but I'm out of the immediate area. Daniel, the soldiers are forming a line. Riot shields coming out. This could get bad.
The police scanner is reporting the same situation at multiple checkpoints around the containment zone. People are panicking, trying to force their way out.
This is exactly what we feared. Fear creates irrational behavior, and irrational behavior in a viral outbreak creates more infection. For anyone listening who is inside a quarantine zone, I understand your fear. I understand you want to leave. But if you're not symptomatic, if you haven't been directly exposed, you are safer staying where you are than trying to break through military containment. You risk being detained, you risk exposure to others who may be infected, and you risk being shot if soldiers perceive you as a threat.
Daniel, the crowd is dispersing. The soldiers didn't have to use force. A commanding officer came forward with a loudspeaker and explained that anyone attempting to breach the perimeter will be detained indefinitely. That seems to have calmed the situation. People are backing away.
Rational authority delivered calmly can prevent tragedy. Michael, stay in a safe position and continue monitoring.
Daniel, I have Dr. Vernon calling back. He says he has additional information.
Put him through. Dr. Vernon, what do you have for us?
Daniel, I've been in contact with colleagues at the Marine Research Institute, and we've been sharing data. I need to tell you something disturbing. There are documented cases of deep-sea organisms carrying neurotropic parasites and viruses that fundamentally alter behavior in host species. We're talking about pathogens that literally rewire neural pathways to serve the parasite's reproduction cycle.
Are you suggesting this virus is doing that to humans?
I'm saying it's possible. The aggression, the biting behavior, it's consistent with a pathogen that's hijacking the host's brain to facilitate transmission. If an infected person bites someone, they're transferring the virus through saliva directly into the bloodstream. It's horrifyingly efficient.
Dr. Vernon, is there any precedent for this in human medicine?
Rabies is the closest comparison, but rabies takes weeks or months to progress. What you're describing happens in hours. That's not natural evolution. This is something that evolved in a completely different environment with different rules.
Doctor, if this virus is that aggressive and that transmissible, what's the realistic containment scenario?
Complete isolation of infected individuals, immediate quarantine of anyone exposed, and aggressive contact tracing for every single case. If even a small percentage slip through containment, you're looking at exponential spread. Daniel, this could overwhelm the city in days, not weeks.
I appreciate your honesty, Doctor. What should people do right now to protect themselves?
Physical barriers. Lock your doors. Stay away from windows. Do not open your door to anyone you don't know. If someone is trying to get into your home and they're acting erratically, call police and barricade yourself. Do not assume you can reason with someone who's infected. The virus destroys rational thought.
Thank you, Doctor. Emily, we need to broadcast that advice repeatedly.
Understood. Daniel, I'm getting reports of violence at multiple locations across the city. Not inside the quarantine zone, out in the general population. There's an incident at a shopping center on the west side. Multiple people injured. Another report from a residential neighborhood in the south end. Someone attacking neighbors.
The virus is already out of the quarantine zone. It's in the community at large. Emily, we need to adjust our messaging. This isn't a localized containment situation anymore.
Daniel, this is Michael. I've moved to a position about 15 blocks from the original quarantine zone, and I'm seeing military units setting up a second perimeter. This one is much larger, encompassing probably a quarter of the city's eastern section.
They're expanding containment because they know it's already spread beyond the initial zone. Michael, how are residents reacting?
Most people don't even realize what's happening yet. I'm watching soldiers quietly taking positions, setting up barriers at intersections. It's being done methodically and without announcement. By the time residents figure out they're being contained, the perimeter will already be in place.
That's a smart strategy, Daniel. Prevent panic and prevent people from fleeing before the zone is secured.
It's also terrifying because it means military command knows they've lost containment of the original zone. They're writing it off and trying to save the rest of the city. Emily, what's our count on military personnel deployed?
I don't have exact numbers, but based on Michael's observations and what I'm hearing on emergency channels, we're talking about thousands of soldiers. This is a full-scale military operation inside our city.
Listeners, I need to be direct with you. What we're witnessing is the breakdown of normal civilian authority and the implementation of military law. The mayor's emergency declaration gives legal authority for these actions, but make no mistake, the military is in charge now. Follow their instructions without question. Your survival may depend on immediate compliance.
Daniel, I'm hearing explosions, small arms fire. It's coming from inside the original containment zone, maybe 10 blocks from my position.
Are those military operations or something else?
I can't tell. The gunfire is sustained, multiple weapons. It sounds like a firefight, but I don't know who they're fighting. Wait, I'm seeing smoke rising from that direction. Something's burning.
The fire department dispatch is reporting multiple structure fires in the Harbor District. They're requesting permission to enter the quarantine zone, but they're being denied by military command.
They're letting it burn. If buildings in the quarantine zone are on fire and firefighters can't enter, those fires will spread. Emily, how many residential structures are in that zone?
Hundreds. Apartment buildings, row houses. It's a densely populated area. Daniel, if those fires spread unchecked, thousands of homes could be destroyed.
And everyone inside them. Michael, can you see the fires from your location?
Yes, the smoke is getting thicker. I count at least 3 separate fire columns. Daniel, there are going to be people trapped in those buildings. The military sealed the zone. They can't get out.
Unless that's intentional. Unless they're using fire as a sterilization method. Emily, am I being paranoid or is that a possibility?
I don't want to believe it, but strategically it makes sense. If you can't contain the infected individuals, you eliminate the zone entirely. Daniel, this is horrifying.
We don't know that's what's happening. We cannot broadcast speculation like that. For now, we report what we can confirm. There are fires in the quarantine zone, and emergency services are not being allowed to respond. That's the fact. Listeners make of it what they will.
I'm being approached by military personnel again. They're telling me this area is about to be restricted. I need to move further out.
Go, Michael. Find a safe observation point outside any military zones and call us back.
Daniel, we're 20 minutes away from the business closure deadline. I'm seeing news that grocery stores across the city are being mobbed. People are panic buying.
That was inevitable. Emily, do we have any reports of violence at these stores?
Yes, several. There was a fight at a supermarket in the Northwest District. Someone pulled a weapon at a pharmacy in the central area. Police are responding, but they're stretched thin.
The breakdown is accelerating. Once people start competing for resources with violence, society fractures quickly. Listeners, if you're in a store right now and you see aggressive behavior, leave immediately. No amount of supplies is worth your life. If you can't get to a store safely, stay home. You can survive for several days without additional food. Water is more critical. Fill bathtubs, fill pots and pans, create a water reserve while municipal services are still functioning.
That's good advice, Daniel. I'm also seeing reports that cell phone networks are becoming overloaded. People are having trouble making calls.
Use text messages instead of calls. They use less network capacity and are more likely to get through. And for those of you listening on battery-powered radios, conserve your batteries. We will stay on the air, but if you need to shut off your radio to save power, we will repeat all critical information at the top of each hour.
Daniel, I'm in position about 30 blocks from the harbor now, in the commercial district near the financial center. I can see the smoke from the fires clearly from here. It's spreading, Daniel. The entire eastern horizon is turning dark.
Michael, are you seeing any civilian response? Are people in that area reacting to what's happening?
Office buildings are emptying out. I'm watching thousands of workers pouring into the streets, trying to get to their cars, trying to catch buses or trains. The traffic is gridlocked. People are abandoning their vehicles and walking.
The subway system just announced it's shutting down early because of overcrowding and security concerns. That's going to strand thousands of people.
The city's infrastructure is collapsing under panic. This is what happens when fear overrides order. Michael, are you seeing any police presence in your area?
Minimal. I see a few patrol cars, but they're not stopping. They're just moving through the crowds. I think they're as overwhelmed as everyone else.
The time is now 4:33 p.m. We are 1 hour and 27 minutes from the curfew. If you are not already home, you need to make decisions about where you will shelter for the night. Do not assume you can make it home if you're far away. Consider finding a hotel, staying with a friend who lives nearby, or sheltering in a public building if necessary.
Daniel, I have a caller on line 2 who says he's a truck driver making deliveries into the city. He wants to know if he should continue or turn around.
Put him through. Sir, this is Daniel Rothman. Where are you right now?
I'm on the interstate about 20 miles outside the city limits. I'm hauling food supplies for a grocery chain. I was supposed to make deliveries to 3 stores in the metro area, but I'm hearing things on the CB radio that are making me think I should turn around.
What are you hearing?
Other drivers saying the city is locked down, that military checkpoints are turning trucks away. I've got a family to get home to. I don't want to get stuck inside a quarantine zone.
Sir, what's your name?
Terrence.
Terrence, here's what I can tell you. The city has declared a state of emergency. There are military checkpoints, and there is a curfew starting at 8 p.m. However, the mayor specifically stated that essential services, including food delivery, should continue. You might be allowed through, but you might also be detained or turned back. That's a decision you have to make. Personally, if I had a family outside the city, I would turn around and go home to them. The stores will survive without one shipment. Your family might not survive without you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thank you, Daniel. You stay safe in there.
You too, Terrence.
That was good advice, Daniel. Every person who stays out of the city is one less person potentially exposed or one less person consuming limited resources.
Emily, are we getting any updates from hospitals? What's the patient count now?
I'll call the Department of Health again. Last I heard, they were over 300 confirmed cases, but that was an hour ago. I'm sure it's higher now.
While you're doing that, I want to talk directly to our listeners about something important. Many of you have children. You're trying to decide whether to keep them home from school tomorrow, whether to explain what's happening, how much to tell them. Let me give you my perspective. Keep them home. Schools will probably be closed anyway, but even if they're not, keep your kids close. As for what to tell them, be honest, but don't terrify them. Explain that there's a sickness spreading, that we need to stay home to stay safe, and that people are working to fix it. Children understand more than we give them credit for, and they'll sense your fear anyway. Give them information they can process. Make staying home feel like you're doing something positive together, not like you're prisoners.
Daniel, I reached the Department of Health. They're now reporting 471 confirmed cases in medical facilities and an unknown number of unreported cases in the community. They've also confirmed 14 deaths.
14 people have died from this virus?
Yes, all of them were from the initial wave of infections this morning. The virus progressed to complete organ failure in some patients within 8 hours of symptom onset.
8 hours from infection to death. That's faster than almost any known pathogen. Emily, what's the mortality rate?
They don't have enough data yet to calculate a reliable rate. Some patients are stabilizing with aggressive treatment. Others are declining rapidly. There's no pattern they can identify.
So even if you get medical care, survival isn't guaranteed. And with hospitals overwhelmed, most people won't get medical care at all. Listeners, this is why avoiding infection is absolutely critical. There is no reliable treatment. Your only protection is not getting exposed.
Daniel, I need to report something. I'm observing a situation developing at a hospital about 10 blocks from my position. There's a crowd gathering outside the emergency entrance, and it looks confrontational.
Can you get closer safely?
I'm moving that direction now. I can hear shouting from here. People are angry about something.
I'm checking the scanner. There are police units being dispatched to Memorial Hospital for a civil disturbance. That must be what Michael is seeing.
I'm close enough now to see what's happening. The hospital has closed its emergency room doors. There's a line of security guards blocking the entrance, and there are probably 100 people out here demanding to be let in. Some of them look sick, Daniel. I can see people stumbling, being held up by others.
Michael, you need to keep your distance from anyone showing symptoms.
I'm staying back. But Daniel, this is a disaster. These people need medical care, and the hospital is turning them away. I can understand the hospital's position. They're probably full, but what are these people supposed to do?
The Department of Health said to call emergency services, but what happens when emergency services can't respond? What happens when ambulances stop coming?
Then people die in the streets. Emily, that's the harsh truth. We're watching the medical system collapse in real time. When hospitals close their doors, when ambulances stop running, the mortality rate will spike. Not just from the virus, but from everything. Heart attacks, strokes, injuries, all the normal medical emergencies that happen every day.
The police are arriving now. They're trying to disperse the crowd, but people aren't leaving. They're desperate. One man is on his knees begging to be allowed inside. A woman is screaming about her daughter. This is heartbreaking, Daniel.
Michael, document what you can, but protect yourself. If that crowd turns violent, you need to be gone before it happens.
Understood. I'm keeping an exit route clear.
Daniel, we're getting reports of similar situations at hospitals across the city. Every major medical facility has closed its emergency rooms to new patients. They're only treating people already inside.
So if you get sick now, you're on your own. Listeners, hear this clearly. If someone in your home becomes symptomatic, you have to make impossible decisions. You can try to care for them yourself, knowing you'll likely be exposed, or you can isolate them and hope emergency services eventually respond. There's no good option. The best option was avoiding infection, and that opportunity is closing.
The crowd is dispersing. Police use loudspeakers to announce that anyone showing symptoms should return home and self-quarantine. They've promised that mobile medical teams will be deployed to neighborhoods to provide treatment. I don't know if people believe that, but they're leaving.
Mobile medical teams might be a viable strategy, but it requires organization and resources. Emily, are there any announcements about mobile clinics or neighborhood treatment?
Nothing official. It might have been something the police said to calm the situation.
A lie to prevent a riot. I understand the motivation, but when people realize they were lied to, it'll make the next confrontation worse.
I'm moving away from the hospital area. The sun is getting low, Daniel. It's going to be dark soon, and I don't want to be on the streets after curfew.
Good thinking, Michael. Find a secure location where you can shelter tonight. Somewhere you can observe tomorrow if needed, but safe.
I'm heading to an office building. I know, it's mostly empty, has good sight lines, and I can lock myself in. I'll call back once I'm settled.
Stay safe. Emily, what's our time to curfew?
57 minutes.
Less than an hour before every civilian is supposed to be off the streets. I wonder how many people are going to comply, how many are going to test the military's willingness to enforce it.
I think most people will comply. The question is, what happens to those who can't? The homeless population, people stranded away from home, workers who can't make it back in time.
The mayor's order didn't address any of that. There's no provision for emergency shelters or exceptions. It's just be home or be in violation. That's going to create situations where people are arrested or worse for circumstances beyond their control.
Daniel, I'm seeing social media posts from people saying they're not going to comply. They're calling this martial law and saying it's unconstitutional.
They're not wrong about it being martial law, even if it's not officially declared as such. As for constitutional, that's a question for lawyers, and lawyers aren't going to help you if you're in a confrontation with soldiers at a checkpoint. My advice to anyone considering protest or resistance, this is not the time. Save your constitutional arguments for when we've survived the immediate threat.
Daniel, I'm at the office building. I'm inside on the 8th floor. I have a view of the street below and the skyline. The smoke from the fires is thick enough that it's blocking the sunset. The whole eastern sky is orange and black.
Michael, are you seeing any emergency response to those fires yet?
No, they're still burning unchecked. I can see flames now, not just smoke. Multiple buildings are fully engulfed. Daniel, if those fires spread beyond the quarantine zone, the whole city could burn.
Firefighters can't enter the zone, and I'm hearing that fire departments outside the zone are being ordered to prioritize protecting structures outside the quarantine perimeter rather than fighting the fires inside it.
So they'll let everything inside the zone burn and hope they can stop it at the boundary. That's not firefighting, that's triage. Emily, how many people were estimated to be inside that original quarantine zone?
Before the evacuation started, probably around 12,000 residents, plus workers at the fish market and surrounding businesses.
And how many were successfully evacuated before the zone was sealed?
I don't have exact numbers, but based on Michael's observations, maybe half? Daniel, that means there could be 6,000 people still inside a zone that's currently on fire with no fire suppression.
6,000 people burning to death or dying from smoke inhalation because military command decided they're acceptable losses. Emily, I hope we're wrong, I hope they found a way to get everyone out, but my gut tells me we're witnessing a mass casualty event.
I don't want to believe our government would let that happen, but the evidence is right in front of us.
The evidence is smoke on the horizon and silence from official sources. No announcements of successful evacuations, no casualty counts, nothing. They're keeping it quiet because they know the public would revolt if they understood what's happening.
I'm watching people on the streets below me. They're looking east at the smoke, taking pictures with their phones, but they don't seem to grasp what it means. They think it's just fires. They don't know people are dying.
Human psychology struggles with large numbers. 1 death is a tragedy, 1,000 deaths is a statistic, as the saying goes. People see smoke and think that's bad, but they don't connect it to individual human lives being lost. It's a defense mechanism, really. If we fully process the horror of what we're witnessing, we couldn't function.
Daniel, we're 30 minutes from curfew. Traffic cameras are showing the major roads are clearing out. People are complying.
Good. The fewer people on the streets, the fewer confrontations, the fewer opportunities for this situation to escalate further. Emily, are we getting any indication of what happens after curfew? Will the military patrol the streets? Will there be announcements?
The police scanner indicates coordinated patrols beginning at 8 p.m. Mixed units of police and military will be enforcing the curfew. Instructions are to order anyone on the streets to return home and to detain anyone who refuses or anyone exhibiting symptoms.
Detain where? The jails can't handle that capacity, and you can't put potentially infected people in confined spaces with others.
I don't know, Daniel. The protocols aren't clear. It's possible they're making this up as they go along.
That's a terrifying thought. Soldiers with live ammunition making field decisions about detention and quarantine without clear guidelines. That's how people get shot.
The streets below me are almost empty now. I see a few stragglers hurrying along, but most people are inside. It's eerie, Daniel. This city is never this quiet.
You're watching a metropolis go into hibernation out of fear. Tomorrow morning will tell us if people stay compliant or if panic overcomes caution.
We're getting reports of looting in some commercial districts. Stores that closed early are being broken into.
That was predictable. Once normal law enforcement breaks down, some people will take advantage. The question is whether authorities will dedicate resources to stopping looters when they're already overwhelmed with the health crisis.
I'm seeing a police car below. It drove past a group of people breaking a store window and didn't stop, just kept going.
They're prioritizing. Property crime isn't worth risking exposure or confrontation right now. Store owners are going to be on their own.
Daniel, I'm hearing something on the scanner that's concerning. There's radio chatter about infected individuals breaching containment in multiple locations. Not organized escapes, just people wandering through gaps in the perimeter.
The perimeter isn't perfect. You can't seal off a section of city with complete security, not quickly. There will be gaps, and infected people don't have the cognitive function to understand barriers. They'll wander through wherever there's an opening.
I'm seeing something from my window. There's a person on the street below, moving erratically. They're stumbling, falling, getting back up. Daniel, I think they're infected.
Don't go down there. Stay where you are and observe.
The person is approaching a building entrance. They're pounding on the door. Now they've moved on, heading down the street. They're out of sight now.
Should Michael call police?
What would police do? They're stretched to the breaking point already. One infected person wandering the streets is probably low priority compared to the containment zone fires and the dozens of other crisis points.
I'm hearing gunfire. Single shots. Controlled. It's coming from a few blocks away.
The scanner is reporting an officer-involved shooting. An individual exhibiting symptoms and aggressive behavior was shot after attempting to attack officers.
So it started. Police are shooting infected people. That's the new reality. Listeners, if you see someone acting erratically, do not approach them. Do not try to help. Call authorities and stay clear. If they come toward you, get inside and lock your doors. I hate that I have to say this, but your safety is more important than your compassion right now.
The sun is setting. It's getting dark fast. The street lights are coming on, but there are large areas where the lights aren't working. Maybe half the city is dark.
Power grid issues. I'm seeing reports that electrical load fluctuations are causing outages. When everyone rushes home and turns on lights, appliances, heating, it creates demand spikes the grid wasn't designed to handle.
If the power grid fails completely, we lose communication, refrigeration, water pumping, everything. Emily, do we have any indication that the power company is managing the load?
They're implementing rolling blackouts in some areas to prevent total grid collapse. But Daniel, our building is on the priority grid for emergency services. We should maintain power.
Should being the key word. We need to prepare for the possibility that we lose power. Where are our backup batteries?
We have generator power for approximately 72 hours, and battery backups beyond that. We can broadcast for days even without grid power.
Good. Make sure everything is fully charged. If we go dark, I want to be able to come back on the air immediately.
It's full dark now. I can see fires in at least a dozen locations across the city. The smoke is reflecting the flames, creating this orange glow across the entire Eastern District. Daniel, it looks apocalyptic.
It is apocalyptic, Michael. We're watching civilization break down in real time. The question is whether we can rebuild or whether this is the beginning of the end.
That's dark, Daniel.
But honest. Emily, we have to be honest with ourselves and our listeners. The optimistic scenarios we were imagining this morning, containment and treatment and recovery, those are off the table. We're in survival mode now.
I'm seeing movement on the streets. Not many people, but some. Individuals moving between shadows, avoiding the streetlights. I don't know if they're looters or people trying to get home after curfew or infected wandering.
Can you see any military or police patrols?
Not from my position. The streets look abandoned.
The curfew went into effect 4 minutes ago. Patrols are supposed to be active, but maybe they're not in Michael's area yet.
Or maybe there aren't enough personnel to patrol everywhere. Maybe they're concentrated at the containment perimeters and critical infrastructure, and the rest of the city is simply unmonitored.
That would explain why I'm seeing people on the streets. If there's no enforcement, the curfew is just a suggestion.
Laws only work when there's consequences for violation. If people realize they can move around without encountering authorities, the curfew will be meaningless.
Daniel, I'm getting a call from someone who says they're a National Guard officer. Should I put it through?
Absolutely. Anything from military sources could be valuable. Put them through.
This is Lieutenant Carver, National Guard. I'm calling from a checkpoint on the western perimeter. I listened to your broadcast on my truck radio, and I wanted to give you information that people need to hear.
Lieutenant, we appreciate any information you can share. What's the situation from your perspective?
It's worse than what's being officially reported. The containment zones aren't holding. We're seeing infected individuals slipping through gaps constantly. We've established shoot-on-site protocols for anyone exhibiting symptoms who doesn't respond to verbal commands.
Lieutenant, how do you distinguish between someone who's infected and someone who's just scared or disoriented?
We can't always. That's the problem. We've been given behavioral indicators, aggression, lack of response to commands, erratic movement, but scared people act erratically too. We're doing our best, but mistakes are going to happen.
Are soldiers prepared for that? Prepared to potentially shoot uninfected civilians?
No one's prepared for this. We train for riot control, for disaster response, not for shooting sick people in the streets. Morale is terrible. I've got soldiers who are breaking down, refusing orders. I don't blame them. This isn't what we signed up for.
Lieutenant, what about supplies? Are your units equipped for a prolonged operation?
We're running on what we deployed with. Food for maybe 3 days, ammunition for longer, but there's no resupply plan that I'm aware of. Communications with command are spotty. I think the command structure is fragmenting.
What does that mean practically?
It means individual units are making local decisions without coordination. It means the containment strategy could fall apart as units decide to abandon positions or implement their own protocols.
That's terrifying.
It is. Look, I have to go. I wanted people to know the truth. The government isn't in control. We're barely holding on. If you're listening, trust your own judgment. Protect yourself and your family. Don't assume the military is going to save you.
Lieutenant Carver, thank you for your honesty. Stay safe.
You too.
Daniel, if the military command structure is breaking down, what does that mean for the city?
It means we're transitioning from organized crisis response to chaos. When individual units start making their own decisions, you get inconsistent enforcement, you get abandoned positions, you get soldiers deciding their families are more important than their posts. I can't blame them, but the result is complete breakdown.
I'm watching the fires grow. They've spread beyond what I could see an hour ago. I think at least 50 city blocks are burning now.
No one's fighting those fires. They're just consuming everything.
The wind will determine how far they spread. If the wind shifts toward the center of the city, we could see fire engulfing downtown areas. Emily, what's the weather forecast?
Let me check. Wind is currently from the northeast at about 8 miles per hour. Forecast is winds may increase overnight to 15 miles per hour, same direction.
So the fire will push southwest, away from downtown, but into residential neighborhoods that weren't part of the original containment zone.
Those neighborhoods are populated, Daniel. Thousands of people who think they're safe because they're outside the quarantine area.
Should we broadcast a warning?
Yes. Listeners in the southwestern districts, particularly the neighborhoods of Riverside, Oakmont, and Hillside, You need to be aware that fires from the containment zone may spread in your direction overnight. Monitor the situation, be prepared to evacuate if necessary. Have essential items ready, documents, medications, water. If you see or smell smoke, don't wait for official orders. Get out.
I'm glad you said that, Daniel, because I don't think official orders are coming. I don't think anyone's coordinating this anymore.
We might be the only consistent source of information people have right now. That's a responsibility I didn't expect when I came to work this morning.
None of us expected this, but here we are.
Here we are. Emily, what are you hearing on emergency channels?
It's chaos. Multiple calls, overlapping traffic, dispatchers trying to prioritize. I'm hearing reports of violence, fires, medical emergencies all across the city, and the response is inadequate. There aren't enough units to respond to everything.
Trage on a city scale. They're responding to what they can and ignoring the rest. The people they can't reach are on their own.
I'm seeing headlights on the street below. A convoy of vehicles, military from the look of them. They're moving fast, heading east toward the fires.
Maybe reinforcements for the containment perimeter?
Or maybe they're evacuating. Hard to tell.
Daniel, we're getting multiple calls from listeners asking what they should do if someone in their home becomes symptomatic. We've addressed this before, but people want more specific guidance.
There's no good answer, Emily, but let me try. If someone in your home develops symptoms, high fever, aggression, confusion, you need to isolate them immediately. Put them in a separate room, close the door. Do not enter that room. Push food and water through the door if possible, but do not make physical contact. Call emergency services and explain the situation, but do not expect a rapid response. You may be on your own for hours or days. If the person becomes violent or tries to leave the room, you have to make a decision about restraint. I can't tell you how to handle that. It's going to depend on your specific situation, the layout of your home, your physical capabilities. What I can tell you is that an infected person is not the person you knew. The virus destroys their mind. If you have to defend yourself, you're not fighting your loved one. You're fighting a disease that's using their body.
That's brutal advice, Daniel.
It's honest advice. People need to understand what they're dealing with. This isn't a normal illness where you provide comfort and care. This is something that turns people into threats.
I just saw someone on the street below sprint past at full speed. They were moving with purpose, like they were running from something. Now I'm hearing screaming.
Michael, can you see what's happening?
No, it's outside my field of view. The screaming stopped. Now there's silence.
The scanner is reporting an attack in Michael's area. Multiple victims, officers responding.
I see police lights now flashing off the buildings. 2 patrol cars just arrived on the street below.
Michael, stay away from your windows. If they're shooting, you don't want to be visible.
I'm back from the window. I can still hear what's happening, though. Shouting, orders being given. Now gunfire. 3 shots. 4. It stopped.
The scanner says suspect down. Officers requesting medical assistance for victims.
I'm looking now. I can see officers standing over a body in the street. There's something wrong with the body, Daniel. The way it's positioned, it's not natural.
What do you mean?
It's contorted, limbs at wrong angles, like the person was moving in ways human bodies shouldn't move.
Advanced infection symptoms. Dr. Vernon mentioned that the virus affects motor control. Maybe in late stages it causes muscle spasms or seizures.
Or maybe the virus rewires the brain so completely that normal movement inhibitions are gone. People can damage their own bodies when the brain isn't limiting their actions.
That's horrifying. The officers are putting something over the body now, a tarp or a sheet. Now they're taping off the area. They're leaving the body in the street.
No morgue pickups. No body removal. The system has completely broken down.
Bodies in the streets will accelerate disease spread, decomposition, scavengers spreading fluids, people encountering remains. This is how plague conditions develop.
There are more bodies, Daniel. Now that I'm looking, I can see at least 3 more on nearby streets. They're just lying there.
Michael, document what you're seeing, but don't broadcast graphic details. People are listening with their children. They need information, not nightmares.
Understood. I'll keep it general.
Listeners, I'm going to tell you something you need to hear. The infrastructure we depend on, medical services, police, fire, sanitation, it's collapsing. The systems that keep a city functioning are failing. That means you cannot rely on help coming. You have to be self-sufficient. You have to make decisions to protect yourself and your family without expecting rescue. That's the new reality as of tonight.
Daniel, that's going to terrify people.
Good. Terrified people take action. Complacent people become victims. I'd rather have our listeners terrified and prepared than calm and dead.
The police are leaving. They didn't pick up the bodies, didn't investigate. They responded to the immediate threat and left.
They're prioritizing active threats over cleanup. Can't blame them, but it means the streets are becoming hazardous in new ways.
I'm seeing reports of power outages expanding, entire neighborhoods going dark.
Is it grid failure or intentional blackouts?
Mix of both. Some areas are being cut to preserve grid stability, others are failing due to damage or lack of maintenance.
We need to prepare for the possibility that the entire grid fails. Emily, double-check our backup systems.
On it. Generator fuel levels are good. Battery banks are charged. We have enough to broadcast for at least a week, even with zero grid power.
A week. After that, we go silent. Let's hope this situation resolves before then.
I'm not optimistic, Daniel. What I'm seeing suggests this gets worse before it gets better.
Agreed. But we have to maintain hope. If we give up, what message does that send to our listeners?
Speaking of messages, we're getting requests for information about evacuation. People want to know if they should leave the city.
That's a complex question. Emily, what are the roads like?
Traffic cameras show major highways are gridlocked or completely empty depending on the route. Some roads have military checkpoints turning people back. Others are unmonitored.
So evacuation is possible but risky. You could get stuck in traffic, run out of fuel, encounter checkpoints, or drive into areas that are worse than the city. My advice is, unless you have a specific destination, family outside the city, a place to go where you know you'll be safe, stay where you are. Driving aimlessly into the night hoping to find safety is likely to get you killed.
I'm seeing vehicle fires on the highway visible from here. Looks like accidents or abandoned cars that were set on fire.
The scanner is reporting multiple vehicle fires on the interstate. No emergency response being sent.
Cars burning on the highway, bodies in the streets, fires consuming neighborhoods. This is what societal collapse looks like. This is what happens when the systems we built fail simultaneously.
It's almost beautiful in a terrible way. The fires create this orange glow across the whole city. If you didn't know what was causing it, you might think it was pretty.
Aesthetic apocalypse. I'm sure that'll be a great comfort when we're all dead.
Dark humor, Daniel.
What else is there? We can either laugh or cry, and crying doesn't help anyone.
I'm hearing helicopters, multiple aircraft passing overhead.
Military or news?
Military, I think. They're not hovering like news choppers would. They're moving with purpose, probably observation or command and control.
Somebody's still coordinating at some level then. That's mildly encouraging.
We're 2 hours past curfew. I'm curious what the compliance rate is.
Based on what Michael's describing, the streets are mostly empty except for infected individuals and people who have no choice but to be out. I'd say compliance is high, driven more by fear than by respect for authority.
Fear is a powerful motivator. I'm not leaving this building until daylight, and maybe not even then.
Smart. Emily, are you planning to stay here in the studio?
Where else would I go? My apartment is across the city. I'd have to cross multiple high-risk areas to get there. I'm safer here.
Same for me. We've got food, water, secure doors, and backup power. This building is as good a shelter as anywhere in the city.
I'm in a similar situation. This office building is secure, and I have supplies for a few days. I'll ride it out here.
So the radio crew is sheltering in place, somehow fitting. We're broadcasting the apocalypse from inside our fortresses while the world burns outside.
When you put it like that, it sounds almost noble.
Or cowardly, depending on your perspective. But we're providing a service. Information is valuable, maybe the most valuable thing we can offer right now.
I believe that, Daniel. I've been listening to the radio during every disaster I've covered as a reporter. It's the one consistent source when everything else fails.
Let's hope we can maintain that consistency. Emily, what time is it?
10:47 p.m.
We've been broadcasting for over 8 hours continuously. I need to pause for a moment. Can you handle things for a few minutes?
Of course. Take a break.
I'll be back. Keep monitoring the channels.
This is Emily continuing our emergency broadcast on 91.48 FM. Daniel will return shortly. For those just joining us, I'll recap the current situation. A viral outbreak originating from contaminated fish sold illegally at the harbor market has spread across our city. The virus causes rapid neurological damage, aggression, and violent behavior. It spreads through bodily fluids, primarily through biting. Military forces have established containment zones, but the infection has spread beyond these areas. A citywide curfew is in effect. Emergency services are overwhelmed. You should shelter in place, avoid contact with anyone showing symptoms, and monitor this frequency for updates.
Emily, this is Michael. I wanted to add something while Daniel's on break.
Go ahead, Michael.
I've been reporting disasters for 15 years. Hurricanes, earthquakes, floods. I've seen how people respond to crisis. What I'm seeing tonight is different. In natural disasters, people come together. They help each other. They share resources. What I'm witnessing now is isolation and fear. People are barricading themselves away from each other. That's what makes this so much worse than a natural disaster. The threat is other people, so community breaks down.
That's a profound observation. The virus doesn't just attack bodies, it attacks the social fabric that holds us together.
Exactly. And once that fabric tears, I don't know how we repair it. How do you rebuild trust when your neighbor might be infected? When helping someone might kill you?
I don't have an answer for that, Michael. Maybe we figure it out after we survive. If we survive.
Always the optimist, Emily.
Someone has to be. Daniel's the realist, you're the observer. I'll be the optimist. We balance each other.
Fair enough. Hey, I'm seeing something. There's a group of people on the street below. Maybe 8 or 10 individuals. They're moving together, coordinated.
Can you tell what they're doing?
They're breaking into a store, looting, but they're organized about it. They're using tools to pry open the security gate, working together. This isn't opportunistic theft. This is planned.
Are they armed?
I can't tell from here, probably. In this environment, you'd be stupid to go out without some kind of protection.
Should we report this to police?
What would police do? They're not responding to property crimes. These people know that. They're taking advantage of the breakdown.
So we just watch it happen?
Unless you want to go down there and confront them yourself.
Hard pass. Daniel's coming back. I'll brief him.
I'm back. What did I miss?
Michael observed organized looting, a group breaking into a store on his street.
Organized looting suggests people are adapting to the new reality quickly, forming groups for protection and resource gathering. That'll be a pattern. Lone individuals won't survive long. People will band together.
The group is loading goods into a truck now. Looks like food, bottled water, supplies. They're being efficient. In and out in under 10 minutes.
Smart. Minimize exposure time. If I were in their position, I'd do the same thing.
You're condoning looting?
I'm acknowledging reality. When the systems that provide food and security collapse, people will provide for themselves. You can call it looting or you can call it survival. The store owner isn't there to object, and the merchandise will just sit there unused otherwise.
The group is leaving. The truck is driving away. Now the street is empty again.
Back to silence. Michael, how's your observation point? Still secure?
So far, the doors to this building are locked, and I'm high enough that I'm not accessible from the street. I feel reasonably safe.
Good. We need you providing eyes on the ground. Emily, what are you hearing on the scanner?
The activity has decreased in the last hour. Either things are calming down, or emergency services have stopped responding to most calls.
My guess is the latter. Dispatchers are probably only sending units to the most critical situations. Everything else gets ignored.
I'm still hearing occasional gunfire. Distant, but consistent. Someone's shooting at something.
Could be police clearing infected individuals. Could be civilians defending themselves. Could be people taking advantage of chaos to settle grievances. No way to know.
That's unsettling. The idea that people are using this crisis as cover for violence.
Human nature includes a dark side. When social constraints are removed, some people will indulge their worst impulses. That's always been true.
I'm seeing helicopters again. 3 of them in formation, flying low over the city.
Military transport or observation?
Transport, I think. They're larger than observation choppers. Could be moving personnel or equipment.
Or evacuating VIPs. Government officials, military command, people deemed essential.
You think they're abandoning the city?
I think they're prioritizing their own survival like everyone else. If I were the mayor or the governor, I'd be getting to a secure location away from the outbreak.
Can't lead if you're infected. I suppose that's logical, but it doesn't inspire confidence if leadership evacuates while telling everyone else to shelter in place.
The choppers are heading north, away from the city center. They're beyond my view now.
Leadership evacuating north while the city burns in the east. That'll be the image that defines this crisis.
Daniel, we're getting a call from someone who claims to be a doctor. Should I put it through?
Yes, medical expertise is always valuable.
You're on the air, Doctor.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Ramish. I'm an infectious disease specialist, or I was before tonight. I'm calling from my home. I need to share information about this virus.
Dr. Ramesh, we're listening. What can you tell us?
I was working at City General Hospital until 3 hours ago. I've seen this infection up close. I've treated patients, or tried to. What we're dealing with is unlike anything in medical literature, where the virus attacks the central nervous system with unprecedented speed. Within 2 hours of exposure, patients show elevated temperature. Within 4 hours, cognitive decline begins. Within 6 hours, complete personality disintegration. Within 8 hours, the patient is essentially gone, replaced by aggressive, instinct-driven behavior.
Is there any treatment that's proven effective?
Nothing. We tried antivirals, steroids, antibiotics to prevent secondary infection. None of it mattered. The virus progresses regardless of intervention. The only thing that slows it is sedation, but that just delays the inevitable.
So once infected, death is certain.
Death or transformation into something that's no longer meaningfully human. I hesitate to use the word zombie, but functionally that's what we're seeing. People whose higher brain functions have been destroyed, leaving only basic drives, hunger, aggression, movement.
Doctor, you said you were at the hospital until 3 hours ago. Why did you leave?
The hospital was overrun. Infected patients broke out of the isolation ward. They attacked staff. I saw colleagues I've worked with for years being bitten, infected. I made a choice. I could stay and likely die, or I could leave and hope to survive long enough to maybe contribute to a solution. I chose survival.
No judgment here, Doctor. You made a rational decision.
I still feel like a coward, but yes, it was rational. Daniel, the reason I'm calling is to tell people what I've learned. This virus is airborne under certain conditions. If an infected person's fluids become aerosolized through coughing or violent physical trauma, the virus can spread through the air. That means being in the same room with an infected person is dangerous even without direct contact.
That's terrifying. The guidance we've been giving assumes contact transmission only.
The guidance is incomplete. I'm not blaming anyone. The information is developing faster than we can process it. But people need to know that proximity to infected individuals is dangerous. Stay away. If you can hear an infected person, you're too close.
Dr. Ramesh, what about survival? You've seen patients in various stages. Is there any indication that some people have natural immunity or resistance?
I've seen no evidence of immunity. Everyone exposed became infected. The only variable is progression time. Some people deteriorate faster than others, but everyone deteriorates eventually.
That's a death sentence for the city. If there's no immunity and everyone exposed becomes infected, we're looking at total population loss.
Unless we achieve complete containment. Yes. And from what I'm hearing on your broadcast, containment has failed. The infection is spreading unchecked. Within days, maybe weeks, the entire metropolitan area will be compromised.
Doctor, where does that leave us? What's the strategy for survival?
Individual isolation. Get away from population centers. Find somewhere remote. Stock supplies for months, not days. Avoid all human contact. That's the only strategy that offers any real chance.
You're describing the end of civilization.
I'm describing survival. Civilization ended today. We just haven't all accepted it yet.
Dr. Ramesh, thank you for calling. Your information is invaluable. Please stay safe.
You too, Daniel. I admire what you're doing staying on the air. It matters. People need to hear voices, to know they're not alone. Keep broadcasting as long as you can.
That's the plan, Doctor.
Daniel, that call was devastating.
But informative. We now know the virus is potentially airborne, that there's no effective treatment, and that complete isolation is the only survival strategy. That changes our advice to listeners dramatically.
It also means we're at risk. Michael, you're alone in a building, but Daniel, Emily, you're in close proximity in the studio.
We've been together all day. If one of us was infected, the other would be by now. We're either both safe or we're both doomed. Not much we can do about it at this point except continue our work.
I'm trying to stay optimistic, but Dr. Ramesh painted a pretty bleak picture.
He gave us facts. Facts are bleak, but facts are also useful. Now we know what we're up against. Listeners, if you're just joining us or if you missed Dr. Ramesh's call, let me summarize. This virus is extremely contagious, including potential airborne transmission. There is no effective treatment. The only survival strategy is complete isolation from infected individuals and minimizing contact with anyone whose infection status is unknown. If you have the capability to leave the city and go somewhere remote, that's your best option. If you can't leave, fortify your current location and prepare for long-term isolation.
I'm going to follow that advice. Tomorrow, if possible, I'm leaving the city. I'd have a cabin about 2 hours north. It's isolated, has a well for water, and I can hunt if needed. If I can get there, I can survive.
Michael, how will you get there? The roads are compromised.
I'll take back roads, avoid major highways. It's risky, but staying here is riskier.
I think that's smart, Michael. Emily and I don't have that option. We don't have remote locations to retreat to. We're city people. Our survival is tied to this building and this broadcast.
So we stay and hope the building remains secure.
Essentially, yes. We have food, water, and power. We have lockable doors, and we're 19 floors up. If we maintain discipline, avoid unnecessary exposure, we can last for weeks here.
What happens when supplies run out?
We'll deal with that when we get there. For now, we have what we need.
I'm trying not to think too far ahead. Today was overwhelming. Tomorrow will be worse. If I think about next week, I'll lose my mind.
One day at a time. That's how we survive. Emily, what time is it?
Just past midnight. It's technically tomorrow already.
A new day in a dying city. Listeners, if you're still with us, thank you. Thank you for listening, for trusting us to provide accurate information. We will continue broadcasting as long as we're able. Right now, I want to address those of you who are alone. Those who don't have family, who are isolated in apartments or houses, listening to us as your only connection to humanity. You are not forgotten. We see you. We're here with you. This broadcast is for you.
That's beautifully said, Daniel.
It's true. Radio creates community when physical community is impossible. People listening in separate locations, all hearing the same voice, sharing the same experience. It's powerful.
I'm getting emotional. Sorry. Long day.
Don't apologize. Emotion is appropriate. We're living through trauma. If we weren't emotional, we'd be broken.
I'm seeing the sky starting to lighten in the east. Not sunrise yet, but pre-dawn glow. Another day is coming.
Another day of uncertainty. Emily, what's our power status?
Grid power is intermittent, but our generators are running smoothly. We're stable.
Good. Michael, what's the view from your window? What's the city look like as dawn approaches?
The fires are still burning. I can see smoke columns clearly now in the early light. The streets are empty. No movement at all. It's like a ghost town.
A ghost town with 2 million ghosts. Most people are hiding, hoping this nightmare ends. Some people are already dead, others are infected, transforming into threats. And a few like us are just trying to survive and make sense of it all.
Daniel, we're receiving reports that the military is pulling back from some containment perimeters. Units are consolidating to more defensible positions.
They're contracting the defensive lines. That means they're giving up on containing the entire infected area and focusing on protecting smaller zones. It's strategic retreat.
Which areas are being abandoned?
Primarily the eastern districts, the original contamination zone. They're pulling back to a line that runs roughly north-south through the center of the city.
So everything east of that line is being written off? Everyone in those areas is on their own.
How many people are we talking about?
Possibly 500,000 residents.
500,000 people being abandoned by their government because the military can't or won't protect them. That's the decision that's been made. Resources are limited, so they're protecting what they can and sacrificing the rest.
That's a brutal calculus.
It's triage on a massive scale, the greatest good for the greatest number. It makes strategic sense, but it's morally devastating for those on the wrong side of the line.
I'm hearing that some military units refuse to withdraw. They're staying in the eastern zones against orders.
Soldiers deciding their duty is to the people they're protecting rather than to their command structure. I respect that. It's probably suicidal, but I respect it.
The sun is rising. I can see the city clearly now. Daniel, it looks worse in daylight than it did at night. The extent of the destruction is visible. Entire blocks burned to the ground, smoke everywhere, and silence. No traffic, no people, nothing.
Silence is eerie. Cities are supposed to have sound. Traffic, construction, people talking. Silence means absence of life.
I'm looking out our studio window. I can see the smoke too. It's like fog, but darker, heavier. The air quality must be terrible.
Add smoke inhalation to the list of things that can kill you. Listeners, if you're in areas affected by smoke from the fires, seal your windows, use wet cloth over your nose and mouth, stay low to the ground where air is clearer. Smoke is toxic. Prolonged exposure will damage your lungs.
I'm seeing people on the streets now. Not many, but some. They're emerging from buildings, probably looking for supplies or assessing the situation.
Are they showing symptoms or do they appear normal?
From this distance, they look normal. Moving purposefully, not erratically. I see a woman pushing a shopping cart full of belongings, a man carrying bags. They're dressed for travel.
Evacuating now that it's daylight. Probably feels safer than moving at night.
Safer is relative. Daylight offers visibility but also makes you visible. Nighttime offers concealment but makes navigation harder. There's no safe time anymore.
One of the people on the street is looking up at my building. They've seen me in the window. They're waving.
Do they need help?
I can't tell. They're just standing there waving. Now they're moving on. Continuing down the street.
Maybe they just wanted to know someone else is alive. Human connection, even just a wave through a window, matters.
We're social creatures. Isolation breaks us down psychologically. Even in a crisis like this, we need to know we're not alone.
That's why we're here. That's why we keep broadcasting. To be that voice that tells people they're not alone.
More people on the streets now. I'm counting maybe 20 individuals in my field of view. Some alone, some in small groups, all moving with purpose.
The city is waking up. People are assessing whether to stay or go, whether to hide or scavenge, whether to wait for rescue or save themselves.
What would you do, Daniel? If you weren't committed to staying here for the broadcast, what would you do?
Honestly, I'd try to get out. Head for rural areas, find somewhere with low population density, access to water and food sources. A farm maybe, or a small town that hasn't been touched by the outbreak. I'd avoid other people, live off the land, and hope the virus burns itself out.
You think it will? Burn itself out?
Every epidemic eventually ends. Either it runs out of hosts, or the hosts develop immunity, or the pathogen mutates to something less lethal. The question is whether any of us survive long enough to see that happen.
I'm going to make my move. I'm going to pack up and try to reach my cabin. It's now or never.
Michael, are you sure? The roads are dangerous.
Staying is dangerous. Leaving is dangerous. At least if I'm moving, I have some control over my fate. If I stay here, I'm just waiting for the infected to find me or for supplies to run out.
Michael, please be careful. We need your reports.
I'll try to call in if I can, but no promises. Cell service is spotty at best. Emily, Daniel, it's been an honor working with you. If this is goodbye, thank you for everything.
It's not goodbye. You're going to make it to that cabin, and in a few weeks when this settles down, you're going to call us and tell us about your boring, peaceful isolation.
I hope you're right. Okay, I'm packing now. I'll check in if I can.
Godspeed, Michael.
Stay safe.
And then there were two. Emily, we're down to just studio staff now.
We'll manage. We've got enough to keep the broadcast going.
Let's talk about the next 24 hours. What's our plan?
Continue monitoring emergency channels, take calls from listeners, provide updates as information comes in, same as we've been doing.
We should also start thinking about sustainability. How long can we realistically stay on the air?
With our current fuel reserves for the generators, assuming we're conservative with power usage, maybe 10 days. After that, we're dependent on battery power, which gives us a few more days of intermittent broadcasting.
2 weeks. That's our window. After that, we go dark, unless grid power is restored or we get resupplied.
Resupply seems unlikely. Who's going to bring us fuel in the middle of an apocalypse?
Fair point. So we broadcast for 2 weeks and then reassess. Emily, are you comfortable with that plan?
Do I have a choice?
You always have a choice. You could leave. Try to make it to safety somewhere else.
And go where? I don't have a cabin in the woods like Michael. I don't have family outside the city. This building, this studio, this is where I am. So yes, I'm comfortable with the plan because it's the only plan that makes sense for me.
All right then. We stay, we broadcast, we document, and we survive.
Daniel, I'm getting a call from someone who says they're at the hospital. Should I put it through?
Which hospital?
St. Vincent Sits. The caller says they're a nurse and they have urgent information.
Put them through.
This is Natalie. I'm a nurse at St. Vincent Sick. I don't have much time. The hospital has been overrun. The infected are inside. We've locked ourselves in an upper floor. About 30 staff and some patients. We need help. We need evacuation.
Natalie, how did the infected get inside?
The emergency room doors failed. Too many people pushing against them. The infected broke through. They're all over the lower floors now. We can hear them screaming, pounding on doors.
Natalie, have you called emergency services?
Yes, multiple times. They said no units are available. They said to shelter in place and wait. But we can't wait. They're trying to get to us. The doors won't hold forever.
What floor are you on?
4th floor. We've barricaded the stairwell, but it's just furniture and equipment. It's not going to stop them if they really try.
Natalie, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think help is coming. Emergency services are overwhelmed. The military is consolidating positions. You're going to have to save yourselves.
How? How do we do that?
Is there roof access from your floor?
I don't know. Maybe. There might be a maintenance ladder or something.
Find out. If you can get to the roof, you might be able to signal for help or at least have a defensible position. Do any of you have weapons?
We have surgical instruments, scalpels, nothing substantial.
It's something, Natalie, you need to organize. Choose someone to lead, ration your supplies, find that roof access, and prepare to defend yourselves if the barricade fails.
We're medical professionals. We're not fighters.
You are now. The world changed yesterday. Everyone's a fighter or everyone's a victim. Choose what you want to be.
Okay. I'll tell the others. Thank you, Daniel.
Stay alive, Natalie.
That was harsh.
That was realistic. She needed to hear truth, not comforting lies. False hope gets people killed.
You think they have a chance?
Maybe. If they get organized, if they find that roof access, if they're lucky, 30 people working together can accomplish a lot.
Daniel, this is Michael. I'm on the move. I wanted to check in before I lose signal.
Michael, good to hear from you. What's your status?
I'm in my car, heading north on surface streets. I'm avoiding the highways. The streets are mostly empty, but I'm seeing evidence of violence everywhere. Broken windows, abandoned cars, bloodstains.
Any infected?
I saw one individual in the distance who was moving erratically. I went another direction. I'm not taking chances.
Smart. What's traffic like?
Light. Most people who were going to evacuate did so last night. The ones left are either hunkered down or already infected. I've seen maybe a dozen other vehicles on the road in the last 20 minutes.
Are there military checkpoints?
I haven't hit any yet. I think the military has withdrawn to core areas. The neighborhoods I'm passing through are uncontrolled.
Michael, please keep us updated when you can. We want to know you made it.
I will. The signal's getting weaker. I might lose you soon. Emily, Daniel, take care of each other.
We will. You take care of yourself.
And he's gone. Signal dropped.
He's on his own now. I hope he makes it.
Me too. Daniel, we're getting reports of a massive fire in the Western District. Multiple city blocks burning.
The fires are spreading beyond the containment zone. Wind must have carried embers.
Fire department is requesting additional units, but there are none available. They're trying to fight it with the crews they have.
Brave people. Going into a burning city to save what they can. I hope they survive.
I'm seeing reports that some fire crews are refusing to respond. They're staying at their stations or going home to their families.
Can't blame them. At some point, duty to the public conflicts with duty to your family. People are making choices.
The social contract is breaking. When public servants abandon their roles, we're truly on our own.
We've been on our own since yesterday. People are just now realizing it.
Daniel, I need to tell you something. I'm scared. I've been trying to hold it together to be professional, but I'm terrified. What if we die here? What if this building gets overrun? What if we run out of food or water or power?
Those are all valid fears. I'm scared too. But fear doesn't help us. Action helps us. So we focus on what we can control. We manage our resources carefully. We maintain security. We keep broadcasting. As long as we have a purpose, we can keep fear at bay.
You're right. I know you're right. It's just overwhelming sometimes.
Take a break. Get some water. Splash your face. Breathe. I'll handle the broadcast for a few minutes.
Thank you, Daniel.
This is Daniel Rothman, continuing our emergency broadcast on 91.48 FM. Emily's taking a short break. For those just tuning in, I'll provide an update on the situation. The viral outbreak that began yesterday has spread extensively throughout the city. Military forces have contracted their containment perimeters, effectively abandoning large sections of the metropolitan area. Fires are burning in multiple districts with limited firefighting response. Emergency services are critically overwhelmed. The recommendation remains to shelter in place, avoid contact with others, and conserve resources for long-term survival. We're now approximately 31 hours into this crisis, and the situation continues to deteriorate. However, there are survivors. People are adapting, organizing, finding ways to endure. Humanity is resilient. We've survived plagues, wars, disasters. We'll survive this too. Maybe not all of us, probably not all of us, but enough. Enough to rebuild, enough to carry forward. Hold on to that hope. It's precious.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
No apology necessary. How are you feeling?
Better. Steadier. Ready to keep going.
Good, because we've got a long road ahead.
I'm seeing movement on the police scanner. They're reporting a situation at the Civic Center. Large group of people gathering, possibly thousands.
A protest? A riot?
Unclear. The reports just say large gathering. Police are responding but requesting military backup.
Thousands of people gathering in the middle of a pandemic outbreak. That's a recipe for disaster.
Maybe they're demanding government action. Maybe they're angry about being abandoned.
Or maybe they're just scared and looking for leadership. When people are afraid, they gather. It's instinctive.
Police are reporting the crowd is peaceful but not dispersing. They're demanding to speak with city leadership.
City leadership that probably evacuated last night. Who's going to address them?
I don't know. Maybe someone will.
Or maybe police will use force to disperse them and peaceful protests will turn violent. We've seen that pattern before.
I really hope that doesn't happen. These people deserve answers.
They deserve a lot of things. Answers, protection, hope. Whether they get any of that is another question.
The scanner is reporting that a city councilman has arrived at the Civic Center. He's going to address the crowd.
Brave man. Or foolish. Probably both. Let's see if he can calm the situation.
I'm trying to find a live feed or audio. Nothing yet.
If this goes badly, we'll hear about it soon enough.
Always the pessimist.
Realist. There's a difference.
If you say so. Daniel, we're getting reports of gunfire at the Civic Center. Multiple shots.
The situation went bad.
Police are calling for medical assistance. Reports of casualties in the crowd. This is a disaster.
Panic, shooting, stampede. We're going to see dozens, if not hundreds, of casualties.
The scanner is chaotic. Multiple units responding. Requests for ambulances. Reports of fighting between police and crowd members.
Who fired first?
I can't tell. The reports are conflicting. Some say police fired into the crowd. Others say someone in the crowd fired at police.
Does it matter? The result is the same. Dead civilians, shattered trust, more chaos.
It matters for accountability. Someone needs to be held responsible.
There is no accountability anymore. There's just survival. Emily, I know that's cynical, but it's true. The structures that enforce accountability, courts, investigations, due process, they require a functioning society. We don't have that anymore.
So people can just kill without consequences.
People can kill without consequences for now. Maybe when this is over, if anyone survives to care, there'll be reckonings. But during the crisis, morality becomes simpler. Survive or don't. Protect yourself and your people. Everything else is secondary.
That's a dark worldview.
It's an accurate worldview. I'm not saying I like it, I'm saying it's reality.
The scanner is reporting the crowd is dispersing. Some people are fleeing. Others are providing aid to the wounded. Police are establishing a perimeter around the Civic Center.
How many casualties?
Initial reports say at least 20 injured, unknown number dead. The count's going to rise as they assess the situation.
20 people went to the Civic Center looking for answers and got bullets instead. That's the story that'll define this government's response.
If there's anyone left to tell the story.
There will be. Stories survive. Even if everyone dies, the stories persist.
Cheerful thought.
I'm full of them. Emily, I need to ask you something personal. Do you have family? People you're worried about?
My parents live upstate, about 300 miles from here. I tried calling them yesterday, couldn't get through. I don't know if they're safe or if they've heard what's happening here or if they're even alive.
I'm sorry. The uncertainty must be terrible.
It is. But what can I do? I can't reach them. I can't help them. So I focus on what I can do here.
That's all any of us can do. I have a sister in another state. Haven't heard from her. Don't know if the outbreak is confined to this city or if it's spreading nationally. The information blackout is almost as bad as the virus.
Do you think this is everywhere or just here?
I don't know. The federal government hasn't made any statements that I'm aware of. No national emergency declaration. That suggests it might be localized, but it could also mean the government is overwhelmed or has collapsed.
Collapse seems extreme.
A week ago, the idea of zombie virus spreading through our city seemed extreme. Extreme is the new normal.
Point taken. Daniel, I'm monitoring multiple channels, and I'm hearing less activity than I was an hour ago. Either things are calming down or people have stopped calling for help.
Probably the latter. When you call for help repeatedly and no one comes, you stop calling.
That's depressing.
But predictable. People adapt as they realize they're on their own and they adjust their behavior accordingly.
I'm seeing smoke from the western fires visible from our window. It's getting thicker.
Wind must be pushing it this direction. That's concerning. If the fires reach this district, we'll have to make decisions about evacuation.
Where would we go?
I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, the fires are still miles away. We have time.
Time is running out for a lot of things. Food, water, fuel, ammunition, hope.
Not hope. Hope is infinite as long as you're alive. The moment you lose hope is the moment you start dying.
That's almost poetic.
I have my moments. Emily, let's take some calls. I want to hear from our listeners. Find out how people are coping.
I have someone on line 3. They say they're sheltering in an apartment in the Northern District.
Put them through. Hello, you're on the air with Daniel Rothman. What's your name?
I'm Felix. I'm listening to you from my apartment. I've been alone for 2 days now. My roommate left yesterday. Tried to evacuate. I don't know if he made it.
Felix, how are you holding up?
I'm okay. I have food for maybe a week. Water for a few days. My apartment is on the 3rd floor, and I barricaded the front door. I can see the street from my window.
What are you seeing out there?
Not much. A few people passing by, moving quickly. No infected that I've spotted. But I can hear sounds sometimes. Screaming in the distance. Crashes. Gunfire.
Felix, are you alone by choice or because you couldn't leave?
Both, I guess. I don't have a car. I don't have anywhere to go. My family is across the country. This apartment is as safe as anywhere else.
You're probably right. Staying put is often the best strategy when you don't have a clear alternative.
I wanted to call because I needed to hear voices. I've been alone too long. It's getting to me.
Talk to us, Felix. What's on your mind?
I keep thinking about what comes next. Let's say I survive this week. Then what? Eventually my food runs out. Eventually the water stops flowing. What do I do then?
You make another plan. You scout your building for supplies other residents left behind. You collect rainwater. You venture out only when necessary, carefully to find resources. Survival is a series of small decisions and adaptations.
What if I can't do it? What if I'm not strong enough?
Felix, you're already doing it. You've survived 2 days in a crisis that's killed thousands. That takes strength.
I don't feel strong. I feel terrified.
Strength and fear aren't opposites. Strength is acting despite fear. You're afraid, but you're still functioning, still planning, still surviving. That's strength.
Thank you. I needed to hear that.
Felix, keep listening to this broadcast. As long as we're on the air, you're not alone. We're here with you.
I will. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Emily.
Stay safe, Felix.
Calls like that matter. People need connection, reassurance, a reminder that they're not the last person alive.
It's hard knowing we can't actually help them. We can talk, but we can't send food or rescue them.
Words are help. Information is help. Hope is help. We're providing what we can.
I suppose. Daniel, the time is now 8:17 a.m. We've been broadcasting for almost 18 hours straight.
Are you tired?
Exhausted, but I can keep going.
Let's set up a rotation. I'll broadcast for 3 hours, you rest. Then you broadcast for 3 hours, I rest. We can sustain that indefinitely.
That sounds reasonable. Who goes first?
I will. You've been handling the monitoring and calls in addition to broadcasting. Get some rest. There's a couch in the back room.
Are you sure?
Positive. Go. Sleep. I'll wake you if anything critical happens.
Thank you, Daniel.
This is Daniel Rothman, and you're listening to 91.48 FM. Emily's taking a rest break. We're implementing a rotation system to ensure continuous broadcasting. I'll be with you for the next few hours, then Emily will return. For those just joining us, the situation in our city remains critical. The viral outbreak continues to spread. Military containment efforts have contracted to core areas. Emergency services are minimal or non-existent in most districts. If you're listening, you're likely sheltering in place. That's the right decision. Stay where you are. Conserve resources. Avoid contact with others. Monitor this frequency for updates. I want to take a moment to talk about the psychological aspects of isolation. Being alone or confined with a small group for extended periods creates stress. You may experience anxiety, depression, irritability. These are normal responses to abnormal circumstances. If you're feeling overwhelmed, acknowledge it. Don't suppress it. Find small ways to maintain routine. Eat at regular times. Sleep on a schedule. Exercise if you can. Physical activity helps mental health. If you have books, read. If you have hobbies, engage in them. Keep your mind active. Boredom and rumination are dangerous. They lead to despair, and despair is lethal. People who lose hope stop taking care of themselves. They stop eating, stop sleeping, stop being vigilant. Survival requires active engagement with life. So find something to care about. Maybe it's getting to the next day. Maybe it's protecting someone you love. Maybe it's just spite, determination to survive when everything wants you dead. Whatever works, hold on to it. I'm receiving a call from someone who says they're a government official. Caller, you're on the air. Identify yourself.
This is Deputy Mayor Harrison. I'm calling from the Emergency Operations Center to provide an official update.
Deputy Mayor, where is Mayor Hendricks?
The mayor is currently coordinating with state and federal authorities. I'm authorized to speak on behalf of city government.
All right. What's the official update?
The city remains under a state of emergency. The curfew is still in effect. We're working with military and medical authorities to contain the outbreak and provide services to residents. We ask that everyone remain calm and follow instructions from officials.
Deputy Mayor, with all due respect, that's not an update. That's a repetition of yesterday's statement. What's actually happening? How many people are infected? What's the military strategy? When can residents expect services to be restored?
I can't provide specific numbers. The situation is fluid.
Can't or won't?
The information is still being compiled.
Deputy Mayor, people are dying. Buildings are burning. Emergency services aren't responding. The Civic Center shooting happened hours ago and we haven't heard any official statement. People need real information, not platitudes.
I understand your frustration, but creating panic by releasing incomplete information would be irresponsible.
What's irresponsible is leaving people in the dark while their city collapses around them. But fine, let me ask specific questions. Is the outbreak contained to this city or has it spread?
We have no confirmed reports of infections outside the metropolitan area.
No confirmed reports or no reports at all?
Communications with surrounding areas are limited.
So you don't know. What about the fires? How many city blocks have burned?
The fire department is working to contain the fires. I don't have a specific count.
Again, you don't know. What about casualties? How many dead?
We don't have a complete count.
You don't know anything. Deputy Mayor, why did you call? You're not providing information, you're deflecting.
I called to assure residents that government is still functioning and working on their behalf.
Government is clearly not functioning. If it were, we wouldn't be in this situation. Deputy Mayor, let me ask you personally. Are you in the city right now, or did you evacuate?
I'm at the Emergency Operations Center.
Which is where?
I can't disclose that for security reasons.
Of course. So you're somewhere safe while telling everyone else to shelter in place. Classic.
That's not fair. We're doing everything we can.
Then do better. Release actual information. Tell people the truth about what they're facing. Stop hiding behind bureaucratic language and security concerns. People are dying and they deserve honesty.
I've provided the information I'm authorized to share. I have to go.
Of course you do. Thank you for nothing, Deputy Mayor. That was frustrating. Government officials calling to provide non-information while hiding in secure locations. It's insulting, but it tells us something important. If government can't or won't provide information, they've lost control. We're truly on our own. Listeners, don't wait for official help. Don't expect rescue. Make your own plans. Trust your own judgment. The authorities have abandoned you. I know that's harsh. I know it's scary, but it's better to understand the reality and adapt than to wait for help that isn't coming. I'm looking out the studio window at the city. Smoke obscures much of the eastern horizon. The western fires are spreading. I can see new smoke columns. The streets immediately below are empty. No traffic, no people, just abandoned cars and debris. It's surreal. This city was alive 2 days ago. Vibrant, chaotic, full of energy. Now it's a tomb. I wonder how many people are still alive out there. How many are hiding in apartments and houses, listening to this broadcast? How many have already succumbed to the virus or violence or despair? The numbers must be staggering. Tens of thousands dead at minimum, maybe hundreds of thousands. We'll never know the true count. There won't be official tabulations. No one's tracking bodies anymore. The dead will be forgotten, unrecorded, unmourned except by those who knew them personally. It's a tragedy almost too large to comprehend. So I focus on individuals. Felix in his apartment, Natalie and her colleagues trapped in the hospital, Michael trying to reach his cabin, Emily sleeping in the back room. These specific concrete people, they matter. Their survival matters. If I can help them even slightly, then this broadcast has purpose. I'm receiving a transmission on emergency frequency. It's automated repeating. Let me see if I can play it for you. Stand by. That was an automated message from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Did you hear it? For those who couldn't, it said this is an emergency notification from FEMA. A level 5 biohazard quarantine has been declared for the following metropolitan areas. Then it lists our city and 3 others in surrounding states. So the outbreak isn't localized, it's regional at minimum. The message continues, all residents of quarantine zones must shelter in place. No travel is permitted in or out of quarantine zones. Military forces are authorized to use lethal force to maintain quarantine integrity. This situation is considered a national emergency. Further updates will be provided as available. That's the message. Repeating continuously. Let me unpack what this means. First, we're not alone. Other cities are experiencing the same outbreak. Second, the federal government has declared martial law in affected areas. Third, we're trapped. No one's allowed in or out. The military will shoot anyone attempting to cross quarantine boundaries. Fourth, this is officially a national emergency. That suggests the federal government is still functioning, at least at some level. It also suggests they're taking extreme measures because they believe this outbreak could spread nationally or globally if not contained. We're being sacrificed to protect the larger population. Millions of us quarantined, left to survive or die so that the rest of the country remains uninfected. It's logical. It's brutal. It's happening. I need to think about what this means for us. Emily and I are inside the quarantine zone. Even if we wanted to evacuate, we can't. The military won't let us out. We're committed to this location now. Michael, if he made it beyond the quarantine perimeter before it was established, might be safe. If he was caught inside, he's trapped like the rest of us. I hope he made it out. For those listening within the quarantine zone, understand that rescue isn't coming. Evacuation isn't an option. We're sealed in until the outbreak resolves or we're all dead. That's the harsh reality. The federal government has written us off. We're a containment measure. Our survival is incidental to the larger strategy of preventing spread. So what do? We survive in spite of them. We document what's happening. We maintain our humanity. We refuse to become the mindless infected, or the desperate savages that crisis can create. We stay rational, compassionate, and determined. That's how we win, even if winning just means surviving another day. The time is 11:34 a.m. Emily should be waking soon. I'll continue broadcasting until she returns. In the meantime, let me share some practical advice. Water is your most critical resource. You can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. If you still have running water, fill every container you have. Bathtubs, sinks, pots, bottles, buckets. Store as much as possible. If water stops flowing, you'll need to collect rainwater or find other sources. Boil any water from questionable sources before drinking. Dehydration kills quickly, especially in stressful situations where you're sweating and anxious. Food is important but less urgent. Ration carefully. 1 meal a day is sustainable for weeks if necessary. Prioritize high-calorie, non-perishable foods. Canned goods, dried foods, anything that won't spoil. If you have fresh food, eat it first before it rots. Power is likely to fail soon if it hasn't already. Have flashlights and batteries. Candles work, but they're fire hazards. Be careful. If you're using generators, ventilate properly. Carbon monoxide poisoning is silent and deadly. Security is paramount. Lock all doors and windows. Barricade if necessary. If someone tries to force entry, assume they're a threat until proven otherwise. Don't open your door for anyone you don't know and trust absolutely. The virus spreads through contact. Any stranger could be infected. Even people who seem normal could be in early infection stages. Trust no one. It's paranoid, but it's survival.
Daniel, I'm back. You should rest now.
Emily, perfect timing. I've been on for about 3 hours. Anything critical happen while you slept?
I was out. If something critical happened, you didn't wake me.
Nothing worth waking you for. A call from the deputy mayor that was useless. A FEMA automated message declaring our city part of a level 5 biohazard quarantine.
Wait, what? We're quarantined at the federal level?
As of whenever that message was sent, the military is enforcing a complete cordon. No one in, no one out. Lethal force authorized.
So we're trapped.
Completely. But we already knew leaving wasn't really an option. This just makes it official.
I suppose. Did Michael check in?
No. I'm hoping that means he made it out before the quarantine was established. If he's beyond the perimeter, he might be safe.
I hope so. Okay, I'm ready to take over. Go rest. You look exhausted.
I am. Call me if anything critical develops.
I will. This is Emily, continuing our emergency broadcast on 91.48 FM. Daniel's taking a rest period. I'll be with you for the next few hours. The time is just before noon on what I believe is the third day of the outbreak, though honestly, the days are blurring together. Before I provide updates, I want to address something personal. Many of you listening are alone or isolated with family members. You're scared. You're uncertain about the future. I want you to know I'm experiencing the same emotions. I'm scared too. I don't know if I'll survive this. I don't know if anyone will, but I'm choosing to focus on the present moment. Right now I'm alive. I'm safe in this studio. I have food and water. I have Daniel as a colleague and companion. I have a purpose, which is keeping this broadcast running. Those things are enough for right now. Tomorrow might be different. Tomorrow might be worse. But I can't control tomorrow. I can only control now, so I'm focusing on now. I suggest you do the same. Don't think about next week or next month. Think about today. What do you need to do to survive today? Do that. Then tomorrow, ask the same question, one day at a time. I'm monitoring emergency channels and I'm hearing very little activity. Either things have calmed significantly or emergency services have stopped responding entirely. I suspect the latter. The scanner traffic that I am hearing is fragmented, individual units reporting situations without any coordinated dispatch response. It suggests the command structure has broken down. Police and fire units are acting independently, responding to what they encounter rather than to assigned calls. Some units are reporting that they're returning to their stations or going off duty. Personnel are choosing to protect their families rather than serve the public. I don't judge them for that. At some point, duty to strangers conflicts with duty to loved ones. Everyone has to make that choice. I'm seeing movement on the streets below. A group of about 6 people, moving together, heavily burdened with bags and supplies. They're traveling on foot, heading westward, away from the fires probably, seeking safer areas. One of them is a child, can't be more than 10 years old. They're holding an adult's hand, being led. That breaks my heart. Children experiencing this nightmare. Children who should be in school, playing with friends, worrying about homework. Instead, they're fleeing through a dying city, exposed to horrors no child should see. If we survive this, an entire generation will be traumatized. The psychological impact will last decades. Therapists will be treating these children for the rest of their lives, assuming therapists still exist, assuming any professional infrastructure survives. Daniel left me a note about the FEMA quarantine message. I've been thinking about the implications. If multiple cities are under quarantine, the outbreak is more widespread than we realized. That suggests either multiple contamination events from the illegal fish trade or secondary spread from our city to others. If it's the latter, the quarantine came too late. People evacuating from here carried the virus to other locations. The quarantine might slow spread, but it won't stop it. Eventually, the entire region could be infected, then the country, then the world. I'm trying not to think in those terms. Global apocalypse is too abstract, too overwhelming. I have to focus on local survival, but the implications are terrifying. I'm receiving a call on our emergency line. The caller is asking about medical supplies. They have a family member with diabetes who needs insulin. Their supply is running out. I don't have an answer for them. Pharmacies are closed or looted. Hospitals aren't admitting patients. There's no distribution network for medications. I tell them to search abandoned pharmacies carefully, to be aware of expiration dates on insulin, to ration doses if necessary. It's inadequate advice, but it's all I have. The caller thanks me and hangs up. I feel useless. What good is a radio broadcast if I can't actually help people? Daniel would tell me that information is help, that connecting people is help, that maintaining hope is help. I know he's right intellectually. Emotionally, it doesn't feel like enough. I want to do more. I want to rescue people, distribute food, provide medical care. But I'm one person in a radio studio. My power is limited to my voice and the equipment in front of me, so I use what I have. I broadcast, I talk, I listen. It's small, but it's something. The time is 1:48 p.m. I've been on the air for almost 2 hours. Daniel should sleep a while longer. I can manage. I'm looking at our resource inventory. We have food for approximately 12 days at current consumption rates. Water for about 8 days, assuming the tap water stops flowing soon, which it probably will. Generator fuel for 10 days if we run it continuously, longer if we cycle it. Batteries sufficient for intermittent broadcasting for days beyond that. We're in decent shape supply-wise. The question is, what happens when supplies run out? Do we risk going out to scavenge? Do we try to reach a grocery store or pharmacy? The building we're in has other offices and floors. Maybe there are supplies here we haven't accessed. I should suggest to Daniel that we explore the building at some point, but that means leaving the security of this studio. It means exposure to potential infection. Everything is a risk calculation now. I'm hearing helicopters again, multiple aircraft passing overhead. I can't see them from our windows, but the sound is distinctive. Heavy rotors, military transport most likely. They're heading east, toward the quarantine perimeter maybe, or away from the city entirely. I wonder if they're evacuating VIPs or deploying troops. Without visual confirmation, I can only speculate, but the presence of aircraft means someone still has operational military capacity. That's something. Not much, but something. A thought occurs to me. If the federal government declared a level 5 biohazard quarantine, they must have protocols for that designation. Those protocols might include sterilization measures, chemical weapons, firebombing, even nuclear options in extreme scenarios. The government might decide that containing the outbreak requires eliminating the infected population entirely. That would mean killing everyone in the quarantine zone, infected or not. They wouldn't distinguish between survivors and infected if the goal is total sterilization. I really hope I'm being paranoid. I hope there are ethical limits to what they would do, but history suggests otherwise. Governments have committed atrocities before when they believed the stakes justified it. If they think the survival of the nation requires sacrificing a few cities, they'll do it. We might be living on borrowed time, waiting for the bombs to fall or the gas to deploy. I'm not going to share this thought on the air. It's too demoralizing. People need hope, not terror. But I needed to voice it, even just to myself. Acknowledging the worst-case scenario somehow makes it less frightening. I'm taking a call from someone in the Southern District. They're reporting that a group has organized in their neighborhood, about 50 people working together for mutual protection and resource sharing. They've barricaded several blocks, established watches, pooled supplies. It's a functional community, adapting to the crisis. This is encouraging. It demonstrates that humans can organize constructively even in catastrophe. The caller says they're accepting new members if people can reach them safely and prove they're not infected. I ask how they verify infection status. He says they have a medical professional in the group who conducts basic health screenings. Anyone showing symptoms is denied entry. It's harsh but necessary. One infected person could destroy the entire community. I thank him for the update and encourage others listening to consider forming similar groups if they can do so safely. There's strength in numbers. Lone individuals are vulnerable. Communities can defend themselves, share resources, and provide psychological support. Humans are social creatures. We're not meant to be alone. Daniel is emerging from the back room. He looks slightly more rested. I'll brief him and then we can decide our next steps.
Emily, thank you for covering. How's the situation?
Quiet mostly. I've been taking calls, monitoring channels, thinking too much. You should hear the organized community report I got from the Southern District.
Tell me.
About 50 people formed a secure zone, pooling resources, providing mutual protection. They're screening people for infection before allowing them in. It's functional cooperation in the middle of chaos.
That's brilliant. That's exactly how to survive this. I hope other groups do the same. We should encourage it during broadcasts.
Agreed. Daniel, I've been thinking about worst-case scenarios. What if the government decides sterilization is the answer? What if they bomb the quarantine zone?
I've had the same thought. It's possible, probable even, if the outbreak can't be contained otherwise. But worrying about it doesn't help us. If bombs come, we won't have warning. We'll just die. There's nothing we can do about it. So we proceed as if we have time. We survive day to day. If the end comes, at least we'll have lived fully until then.
That's a healthy perspective. I'll try to adopt it.
Good. Now I think we should explore this building. See if there are supplies on other floors we can access. We're in a high-rise with multiple offices. There might be food, water, medical supplies, equipment we can use.
I thought the same thing. But leaving the studio is risky.
Everything is risky. But we have to balance immediate security against long-term resource needs. If we can safely acquire additional supplies, it extends our survival window.
When should we do this?
Now, while it's daylight, better visibility, easier to identify threats, we'll lock the studio, explore quickly, and return. 1 hour maximum.
Okay. I'm nervous, but okay.
Nervous is smart. Overconfident gets you killed. Let's prep. Listeners, Emily and I are going to explore our building to locate additional supplies. We'll leave the broadcast running on automation, playing recorded messages and updates on loop. We should be back within an hour. If something happens to us, the automation will continue until power fails. Please stay tuned. We'll return as soon as we can.
Daniel, we're ready. I've locked the studio door. We have flashlights, makeshift weapons, and our radio for communication if we get separated.
Let's start with the floors above us. Work our way up, clear each level, look for supplies, stay together, watch each other's backs.
Understood.
Floor 20. This was corporate offices for a law firm, desks, computers, conference rooms. Let's check the break room.
Found a vending machine. Still stocked. Can we break into it?
Yes. Stand back.
You got it open. Snacks, drinks, probably 5 days worth here.
Bag it all. What else?
There's a refrigerator. Spoiled food mostly, but some sealed drinks and condiments. I'll take the sealed items.
Good. Anything else on this floor?
Medical kit in the bathroom. First aid supplies. I'll take it.
Next floor.
Floor 21. Looks like tech company offices. Open floor plan. Lots of desks.
Check for a kitchen area.
Found it. Pantry has some dry goods. Coffee, tea, packaged snacks. Not much, but something.
Take it all. How many floors left?
We're at 21. Building has 25 floors. 4 more.
Let's keep moving.
Daniel, floor 22. This floor feels different. It's quiet. Too quiet.
Stay alert.
There's a smell. Something wrong.
Death. I smell it too. Someone died here recently.
Should we investigate?
No. We're not equipped to handle bodies safely. If someone died here, they might have been infected. The virus could still be viable in their remains. We leave.
Agreed. Moving to floor 23.
This floor is residential, apartment conversions in a mixed-use building. Interesting. Some of these units might have supplies.
The doors are locked. Do we break in?
Morally gray area. These are people's homes, but those people are probably dead or gone. Resources are wasted if they sit unused. I say we take what we need.
How do we get in without damaging the doors too much?
I'll try lockpicking. I learned some basic techniques for a story I did years ago.
You're full of surprises.
We all have hidden skills. Give me a minute.
You got it open. I'm impressed.
Inside, check the kitchen.
Canned food, pasta, rice, bottled water. This is a gold mine. They were prepared.
Take everything we can carry. We'll come back for more if needed.
Daniel, there's a photo on the shelf. A family, parents and 2 young kids. They lived here. I wonder if they survived.
Don't wonder. It'll drive you crazy. Just take the supplies and move on.
You're right. Loading bags now.
Floor 24. 2 more after this. Then we head back.
This floor is offices again. Insurance company from the look of it. Break room should have supplies.
I'm hearing something. Movement. Stay still.
I hear it too, coming from the far end of the floor.
Could be survivors. Could be infected. Approach carefully.
There's someone, a woman. She's sitting at a desk, staring at a computer screen. She's not moving.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Daniel, she's not responding. I think she's catatonic.
Post-traumatic breakdown. She's shut down mentally. We can't help her.
We can't just leave her here.
What would you suggest? We can't force her to come with us. We don't have resources to care for someone in her condition. We leave her.
That feels wrong.
It is wrong. Everything about this is wrong. But we have to prioritize our survival. I'm sorry.
I hate this. I hate making these choices.
I know. Let's keep moving.
Floor 25, top floor. This is executive offices. Very nice.
Check the executive lounge. High-level employees sometimes had stocked refrigerators and pantries.
You're right. There's a full bar here and a stocked fridge. Alcohol, mixers, cheese, crackers, chocolate.
Luxury goods. Take them. Alcohol is trade value if nothing else.
We're loaded down now. We should head back.
Agreed. Down we go.
Daniel, we're back on our floor. I see the studio door. Everything looks secure.
Open it. Get inside.
We're in. Lock it behind us.
Done. We survived. And we have supplies.
That was intense. My heart's still pounding.
Adrenaline. Normal response. Let's inventory what we got.
Looks like we extended our food supply by at least another week, plus the water and medical supplies. Good haul.
Worth the risk. We can do another run if needed, but for now we're in better shape.
I'm still thinking about that woman on floor 24.
Don't. We did what we could, which is nothing. She's beyond help unless she snaps out of it on her own. Dwelling on it serves no purpose.
Intellectually, I know you're right. Emotionally, it's hard to accept.
Survival requires hard choices. You'll make peace with it eventually, or you won't. Either way, you keep moving forward.
You're very pragmatic about all this.
I've covered enough disasters to know that sentiment is a luxury you can't afford during a crisis. Compassion is important, but it can't paralyze you. We help where we can, we move on when we can't. That's survival.
I'll try to remember that.
Let's get back on the air. We've been gone almost exactly an hour. Time to update our listeners. This is Daniel Rothman returning to live broadcast on 91.48 FM. Emily and I successfully explored our building and secured additional supplies. Our survival window has extended. If any of you have the capability to scavenge safely, I recommend doing so. Resources are available in abandoned locations. It's not looting if there's no one to claim ownership. It's survival. Be careful, be smart, and take only what you need.
We're back to regular programming. I'm going to take some calls. Maybe hearing from our listeners will ground me after that expedition.
Good idea. I'll monitor the scanners while you handle calls.
First caller, you're on the air with Emily. What's your name and location?
I'm Jasper. I'm calling from the Eastern District, inside what used to be the containment zone. I need to tell someone what's happening here.
Jasper, you're inside the abandoned zone? How are you still alive?
I've been hiding, moving between buildings, staying ahead of the infected. But Emily, it's worse than you know. The infected, they're not mindless. They're hunting. They coordinate. I've seen them working together to breach barricades, to track survivors. It's like they retain some intelligence, but it's completely directed towards spreading the infection.
Jasper, this is Daniel. Are you saying the infected are capable of strategy?
Yes. I watched a group of them attack a fortified house. They didn't just rush the door. Some went around back. Others climbed to upper windows. Others distracted the people inside by making noise at the front. It was coordinated, deliberate.
That's terrifying. Dr. Ramsch said the virus destroys higher brain function.
Maybe it does, but something remains. Or maybe the virus creates new pathways, new instincts. I don't know. All I know is they're not shambling zombies. They're fast, they're clever, and they're relentless.
Jasper, how long can you stay hidden?
Not much longer. I'm running out of places to go. The infected are everywhere here. Hundreds of them. Maybe thousands. They control the streets. I've been moving through buildings, crawling through vents and across rooftops. But eventually they'll find me.
Is there any way to escape the zone?
The perimeter is sealed. Military shoots anything that moves near the boundary. I'm trapped.
Jasper, I don't have comforting words. Your situation is dire, but you've survived this long because you're smart and resourceful. Keep doing what you're doing. Find supplies. Stay hidden. Outlast them. The infected will eventually die off from starvation or organ failure. If you can wait them out, you might survive.
How long would that take?
I don't know. Weeks? Months? There's no data.
I don't have weeks. I have days at most.
Jasper, is there anyone else alive in your area?
I've seen a few others. We don't interact. Everyone's afraid of each other. You can't trust anyone. They might be infected. They might turn violent for resources. It's every person for themselves.
That's the worst part of this. It's not just fighting the virus, it's the breakdown of trust. The isolation.
I have to go. I hear movement nearby. Thank you for listening.
Stay alive, Jasper.
That call was harrowing. If the infected are capable of coordinated hunting, they're far more dangerous than we thought.
It changes the survival calculus. Simple barricades won't work. You need serious fortifications, and you have to assume they'll find you eventually.
How do we warn people about this without creating panic?
We tell the truth. People need to know what they're facing. Panic is a risk, but ignorance is lethal. Listeners, based on new information from survivors in heavily infected areas, the behavior of infected individuals may be more organized than initially believed. Do not assume infected are mindless. Treat them as intelligent threats. Fortify your locations thoroughly. Do not underestimate their capability to breach defenses. If you're in a heavily infected area, consider relocation if possible. If relocation isn't possible, prepare for siege conditions. Multiple layers of defense, multiple fallback positions, weapons readily accessible. This is warfare, not disease management. Treat it accordingly.
Daniel, I'm seeing reports of gunfire in the Northern District. Heavy engagement. It sounds like a battle.
Military engaging infected, or survivors fighting each other?
Can't tell. The scanner chatter is minimal, but there's sustained automatic weapons fire.
Could be military clearing an infected population, or it could be civil conflict over resources. Without visual confirmation, we can only speculate.
I wish Michael were still reporting. His eyes on the ground were valuable.
He's hopefully safe outside the quarantine. We're on our own for ground observation now.
The time is 4:52 p.m. We've been broadcasting almost continuously for nearly 2 days. How long can we maintain this?
As long as necessary. We rest in shifts. We ration supplies carefully. We can sustain for weeks if we're disciplined.
And then what?
Then we reassess. Maybe the situation improves. Maybe the military breaks the quarantine. Maybe we find a way to evacuate. Or maybe we die here. We'll deal with it when it comes.
Your optimism is overwhelming.
I'm a realist, Emily. False hope is cruel. Acknowledging possibilities, good and bad, is honest.
I suppose.
Do you want to rest? I can take over.
No, I'm okay. Talking to callers keeps me focused. I'll continue for a while.
All right. I'm going to eat something and review our supplies. Call if you need me.
Will do. This is Emily continuing our broadcast. Daniel's taking a short break. I'm opening the lines for calls. If you're out there and you need to talk, call in. Sharing your experience helps all of us understand this situation better.
Emily, my name is Wendell. I'm a civil engineer. I've been thinking about infrastructure collapse, and I wanted to share some thoughts with your listeners.
Please do, Wendell. Infrastructure is critical.
The power grid is probably the first system that will fail completely if it hasn't already in some areas. Once power goes, water pumps stop, which means water supply fails. Without water pressure, sewage systems back up. Within days, you'll have sanitation crises, waste accumulating, disease spreading beyond just the virus. Then telecommunications fail as backup batteries and cell towers die. We're looking at complete infrastructure collapse within a week, maybe less.
That's bleak. Is there any way to prepare for that?
Individual preparation, yes. Collect water now while it's still flowing. Set up waste disposal systems that don't rely on sewage. Chemical toilets, latrines, anything. Stock food that doesn't require refrigeration or cooking. Have manual tools because power tools won't work. Basically, prepare to live like it's the 1800s.
Wendell, do you think this collapse is reversible? If the outbreak ends, can we rebuild?
Eventually, yes. Infrastructure can be rebuilt, but it takes time, resources, and coordinated effort. If government structure has collapsed, there's no one to organize the rebuilding. We'd be looking at decades of slow recovery, not months.
So even if we survive the virus, we're facing long-term hardship.
Correct. The virus is the immediate threat. Infrastructure collapse is the long-term threat. Both are deadly.
Thank you, Wendell. That's valuable information, even if it's depressing.
Truth isn't always comforting, but it's necessary. Good luck, Emily.
You too, Wendell. That call reinforces what we've been saying. This isn't a short-term crisis. This is civilization-level collapse. Anyone listening needs to prepare for months or years of hardship, not days or weeks. I'm taking another call. You're on the air.
This is Father Gregory. I'm a priest. I'm calling from the church in the Central District. We've opened our doors to anyone seeking refuge. We have about 70 people sheltering here, and we're trying to maintain hope and community.
Father Gregory, that's admirable. How are you managing supplies for 70 people?
We're rationing carefully. The church has a small pantry that we're distributing. Some people brought supplies with them. We're sharing everything. It's not much, but it's enough for now.
Are you screening people for infection?
We're watching for symptoms, but we're not turning anyone away unless they're actively violent. It's a risk, I know, but our mission is compassion. We can't abandon people in their time of need.
Father, I respect your compassion, but one infected person could kill everyone in that church.
I'm aware. We're trusting in faith and in each other. If God wills us to survive, we will. If not, at least we'll have lived according to our principles.
That's a beautiful sentiment, but it might be suicidal.
Perhaps, but what's the alternative? Lock the doors and hide? Turn away the desperate? That's not who we are.
I can't argue with your convictions, Father. I hope your faith is rewarded.
Thank you, Emily. Pray for us if you're inclined.
I will. That was Father Gregory, a man of deep faith maintaining a community shelter in impossible circumstances. I admire him even if I think his approach is dangerous. Maybe faith is enough. Maybe compassion is enough. I don't know.
Emily, I'm back. Heard the last few calls. Father Gregory is brave, but probably doomed.
I thought the same, but who am I to judge? We're broadcasting from a locked studio. He's actually helping people.
He's risking his life and the lives of everyone in that church. There's a difference between compassion and recklessness.
Maybe, or maybe we're the reckless ones for hiding.
We're not hiding. We're providing information. That's a service.
Is it enough?
It has to be. It's what we can do.
I suppose you're right.
The time is almost 7 p.m. The sun will set soon. Another night in the dying city.
I dread the nights. The darkness makes everything worse.
Darkness is when the infected are most active. Less visibility makes them harder to avoid. If you're listening and you're in an unsecured location, fortify before dark. Don't move around at night unless absolutely necessary.
Good advice.
I'm going to take some calls. You should rest or eat something.
I'll eat. Call if you need me.
Will do. This is Daniel Rothman on 91.48 FM. The time is 7:11 p.m. Darkness is falling. If you're just joining us, I'll provide a status update. We're entering the third night of the viral outbreak. The infection has spread extensively. Military containment has failed. The federal government has declared a level 5 biohazard quarantine, sealing affected cities with orders to shoot anyone attempting to breach the perimeter. Infrastructure is failing. Power, water, communications, all are degraded or collapsed in many areas. Emergency services are non-operational. You are responsible for your own survival. Shelter in secure locations. Avoid contact with anyone exhibiting symptoms. Conserve resources. Prepare for long-term isolation. We will continue broadcasting as long as possible. I'm taking a call. You're on the air.
Daniel, my name is Solomon. I'm a former military officer. I've been listening to your broadcast since the beginning, and I wanted to offer some tactical advice for your listeners.
Please do, Solomon. Your expertise is valuable.
If you're fortified in a location, understand the principles of defense in depth. Don't rely on a single barrier. Have multiple layers. Locked doors, barricaded hallways, secondary positions you can fall back to. If infected breach your outer defenses, you need fallback options. Also, establish watch rotations if you have multiple people. Someone should always be awake and alert. Fatigue leads to mistakes, and mistakes are fatal.
Excellent advice. What about weapons?
Use what you have. Firearms are ideal if you have them, but ammunition is finite. Melee weapons, bats, crowbars, knives are unlimited use. Keep them accessible. Train with them if you've never used them. A weapon you can't use effectively is worthless.
What about dealing with infected directly?
Avoid direct confrontation if possible. Infected are fast and strong. If you must fight, aim for debilitating injuries. Head trauma is most effective. If you're using firearms, headshots. If melee, strike hard and repeatedly. Don't hesitate. Hesitation gets you killed.
Solomon, what's your assessment of this situation from a military perspective?
It's a catastrophic failure of containment and response. The military should have established hard quarantines immediately. Instead, they delayed and the infection spread beyond control. Now we're in a reactive mode, trying to save what we can. The quarantine boundary might hold if they're ruthless about enforcement, but inside the boundary, it's anarchy. No one's in control.
Do you think the military will resort to extreme measures? Firebombing? Chemical weapons?
If the infection can't be contained otherwise. Yes, the calculus is brutal but clear. Sacrifice a few million to save hundreds of millions. I've seen classified contingency plans for scenarios like this. Sterilization is an option. If I were in command, I'd probably authorize it.
And what would you advise people inside the quarantine zone to do?
Survive as long as possible and hope the sterilization doesn't come, or try to escape the quarantine, knowing you'll probably be shot. Those are the options. Neither is good.
Grim but honest. Thank you, Solomon.
Good luck, Daniel. You're doing important work.
Listeners, you heard Solomon's assessment. I won't sugarcoat it. We're in a terminal situation unless something changes dramatically. But terminal doesn't mean immediate. We have time. How much time depends on many factors. Use it wisely. The time is 9:37 p.m. Full darkness has fallen. The city outside is invisible except for scattered fires providing dim, flickering light. The power grid in this district is still functional, which is almost miraculous. Many areas are completely dark. I'm looking at a map, trying to estimate how much of the city still has power. Maybe 30%? The rest is blacked out. In those dark zones, the infected rule. Survivors have no visibility, no ability to navigate safely. It's a death trap. I'm receiving reports of screaming, multiple calls from listeners reporting screams in the distance, human screams not infected, people dying, people being attacked, people in terror. We can't respond to these reports. There's nothing we can do. It's documentation at this point. Recording the horror so that if anyone survives to tell the story, the evidence exists. I'm taking a call from someone who sounds young. You're on the air.
My name is Tyler. I'm 16. I'm alone in my apartment. My parents left yesterday to try to find my sister. They didn't come back. I don't know what to do.
Tyler, how are you holding up?
I'm scared. I've been listening to your broadcast since this started. Your voice is the only thing that feels normal.
I'm glad we can provide that for you. Tyler, tell me about your situation. Do you have food and water?
Some. Maybe a few days worth. The water still works, but I'm alone and I don't know if my parents are alive.
Tyler, I'm going to be honest with you. Your parents might not come back. You have to prepare for that possibility.
I know. I've been trying not to think about it, but I know.
You're strong, Tyler. 16 is young, but you're capable of survival. Focus on the basics. Food, water, security. Do you have a way to defend yourself?
There's a baseball bat in my room. That's it.
That's something? Keep it close. Lock your door. Don't open it for anyone unless you're absolutely certain it's safe. Do you have neighbors?
I don't know. I haven't seen anyone. The building is quiet.
That's probably good. Quiet means no threats nearby. Tyler, you're going to get through this. One day at a time. Focus on surviving today. Tomorrow we'll figure out tomorrow.
Thank you, Daniel. I needed to hear that.
Call back anytime, Tyler. You're not alone as long as we're broadcasting.
I will. Thank you.
That was Tyler, a 16-year-old kid alone in an apartment, possibly orphaned, trying to survive. Kids like Tyler are everywhere in this city. Alone, terrified, but enduring. If you're listening and you're young, know that you're capable. Age doesn't determine survival. Adaptability does. You can do this. Emily's back from her break. How are you feeling?
Rested. Ready to take over.
Good. I'm going to eat and then I'll rest for a bit. The night shift is yours.
Understood. Stay safe.
You too.
This is Emily taking over the broadcast. Daniel's resting. The time is just past 10 p.m. Another night in the quarantine. I've been thinking about time. How strange it is that 3 days ago we were living normal lives. Going to work, complaining about traffic, worrying about mundane things. Now we're fighting for survival. Time compresses in crisis. 3 days feels like 3 weeks. I wonder what 3 more days will bring. Will we still be here? Will the city still exist? Will the infection have burned itself out or spread further? I don't have answers. I just have questions and fear and determination to keep going. I'm taking calls. If you need to talk, I'm here.
Emily, this is Ruben. I'm calling from the University District. I'm a professor of virology. I've been studying this outbreak, trying to understand it.
Ruben, welcome. What have you learned?
This virus is engineered. I'm almost certain of it.
Engineered? By whom?
I don't know, but the structure, the behavior, it's too perfect. Natural viruses don't evolve this efficiently. The rapid onset, the neurological targeting, the transmission mechanics. It's like someone designed the perfect pandemic pathogen.
Are you saying this was deliberate, a biological weapon?
I'm saying it's possible. Another possibility is laboratory accident. A virus being studied for research purposes that escaped containment. Either way, it's not natural.
That's a serious accusation.
I'm not making accusations. I'm sharing my analysis. The origin doesn't change our current situation, but it might explain why the response has been so aggressive. If government knows this is engineered, they know it won't mutate to something less lethal naturally. It'll remain deadly indefinitely. That makes sterilization the only solution.
You think they'll destroy the city?
Yes, complete sterilization. Fire, probably. Maybe chemical weapons. Leave nothing alive, infected or otherwise. It's the only way to ensure the virus doesn't spread.
When?
Days, maybe a week. They'll want to give time for any survivors outside the quarantine to show symptoms, to ensure containment is complete. Then they'll sterilize.
Reuben, if you're right, we're all dead.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Why are you calling to tell me this?
Because people deserve to know. They deserve to make peace, to say goodbyes, to spend their final days however they choose. False hope is cruelty.
Thank you for your honesty, Reuben. It's devastating, but it's honest.
Survive as long as you can, Emily. That's all any of us can do.
You too, Reuben. That call was horrifying. If Reuben is correct, if this virus is engineered and the government plans sterilization, we have very limited time. I don't know if I should broadcast this information. It'll create despair. But Reuben is right. People deserve truth. They deserve to make informed choices about their final days. Daniel, are you awake? I need you.
I'm awake. What's wrong?
I just took a call from a virologist. He believes the virus is engineered and that government will sterilize the city within days.
I've considered that possibility. It's logical.
Logical? We're talking about mass murder.
We're talking about containment at any cost. If the virus is as dangerous as it appears, sacrificing one city to save the world is logical.
How can you be so calm about this?
I'm not calm. I'm accepting. There's a difference. If sterilization is coming, panic won't stop it. We continue what we're doing. We broadcast. We document. We survive as long as we can.
And if bombs start falling?
Then we die. Emily, we've been on borrowed time since this started. Every hour we're alive is a gift. Don't waste it on despair.
I'll try.
I'm going back to rest. Call if you need me.
I will. I'm trying to process this. The idea that we might have days left, that everything we're doing is futile. But Daniel's right. Despair is wasteful. We keep going until we can't. That's all we can do. Listeners, I'm going to share something difficult. There's a possibility that government authorities will implement extreme containment measures. That could include firebombing or other sterilization methods. I don't know if this will happen or when. I'm sharing this so you can make informed decisions. If you have things you need to say to loved ones, say them. If you have peace to make it. Don't assume you have unlimited time. None of us do. The time is 11:47 p.m., almost midnight. The third day is nearly over. I'm exhausted, but I'll continue. Someone has to be the voice in the darkness.
Emily, I can't sleep. I'm taking back over. You rest.
Thank you, Daniel.
This is Daniel Rothman resuming our broadcast. The time is 11:53 p.m. We're approaching midnight, the transition to the fourth day of this crisis. I've been thinking about what Emily shared regarding potential sterilization. If it's true, if we only have days, I want to use this time to say something important. To everyone listening, you matter. Your life has value. Your survival isn't futile. Even if we all die, the fact that we fought, that we tried, that we maintained our humanity in the face of horror, that matters. We're not victims. We're survivors. For as long as we draw breath, we're survivors. Be proud of that. When the end comes, if it comes, face it knowing you did everything you could. It's midnight. Day 4 begins. We're still here, still broadcasting, still alive. That's victory, however small.
Daniel, I couldn't sleep. I'm hearing something outside. Chanting maybe, or screaming.
I hear it too. It's coming from multiple directions. Distant but growing.
What is it?
I don't know. Let me look out the window.
What do you see?
Fires. Dozens of them. Coordinated. Buildings burning in a pattern. Emily, someone's setting the city on fire deliberately.
The infected?
I don't think infected would coordinate like this. This is organized. Human.
Survivors deciding to burn it all down?
Maybe. Or maybe government scorched earth tactics starting early. Emily, I think the sterilization might have begun.
No, not yet. We're supposed to have more time.
We don't get to decide timing. If this is it, we broadcast until we can't.
Daniel, I'm scared.
Me too. But we stay professional. We keep broadcasting. We document to the end. That's our purpose.
Okay, I'm with you.
This is Daniel Rothman on 91.48 FM. We're witnessing multiple fires across the city. This appears to be coordinated action, possibly the beginning of systematic sterilization. If you're listening, seek shelter immediately in the most fire-resistant location you can find. Basements, concrete structures, anywhere that might protect from heat and smoke. This could be the beginning of the end. We will continue broadcasting as long as possible. The fires are spreading rapidly. I can see flames engulfing entire blocks. The smoke is getting thick even at our elevation. Emily, we need to make a decision. Do we stay or do we try to evacuate?
Evacuate where? The quarantine is sealed. We have nowhere to go.
We could try to reach the underground transit tunnels. They might offer protection from fire.
That means leaving the broadcast equipment, leaving our purpose.
Our purpose doesn't matter if we're dead.
I'm staying. If this building burns, I'll burn with it. But I won't abandon the broadcast.
Emily, that's suicidal.
Maybe, but it's my choice.
Then I'm staying too. We do this together.
Thank you, Daniel.
Don't thank me. We're both idiots.
Agreed.
The fires are getting closer. I estimate they'll reach this district within an hour or two. Listeners, if you can hear us, know that we broadcast until the end. You're not forgotten. You're not alone. We're with you. I'm receiving a call. Unknown number. You're on the air.
Daniel, this is Colonel Morrison, National Guard. I need to speak with you urgently.
Colonel, what's happening? Are those fires government action?
No, they're the work of a large group of survivors who've decided to destroy the city rather than let the infected have it. We're trying to stop them, but our forces are too depleted.
Where are you calling from?
A command post on the western edge of the quarantine. Daniel, I'm calling because we're organizing an evacuation. A small one. We've secured a corridor through the quarantine perimeter. We can get people out, but we have limited time and capacity.
Colonel, how many people can you evacuate?
Maybe 200. That's all. We have transport waiting, but we need to move fast before the fires cut off access.
200 people out of how many survivors?
We estimate there are still tens of thousands alive in the quarantine. Most of them will die, but we can save some.
Why are you telling us this?
Because your broadcast is still reaching people. You can direct survivors to the evacuation point. Give them a chance.
Where's the evacuation point?
Warehouse District, southwest corner, near the old docks. Look for military vehicles with blue markers. We'll screen people for infection and load them onto trucks. They have to arrive within the next 3 hours. After that, the corridor closes.
Colonel, Emily and I are in the Meridian Tower downtown. Can we reach the evacuation point in time?
If you move immediately, yes. But Daniel, you'll have to leave the broadcast equipment.
We're staying to continue broadcasting. We'll direct people to the evacuation, but we're not leaving.
That's suicide.
It's our choice.
You're brave, both of you. I hope someone survives to tell your story.
Thank you, Colonel. We'll direct people to the evacuation point.
God bless you.
Listeners, there's an evacuation happening. Warehouse District, southwest corner near the old docks. Military transport with blue markers. They can take approximately 200 people. You must arrive within 3 hours. After that, it closes. If you can reach it safely, go. This is your chance.
Daniel, we should go. We can still make it.
You go. I'll stay and broadcast.
We go together or we stay together. That's how this works.
Emily, you have your whole life ahead of you. Don't throw it away out of stubbornness.
I'm not being stubborn. I'm being committed. This broadcast matters. Someone has to see it through.
Fine. We stay. No regrets.
No regrets.
The time is 1:34 a.m. The evacuation window is closing. If you're going to reach the warehouse district, you need to move now. Don't delay. This is your only chance. The fires are within 6 blocks now. I can feel the heat through the windows. The smoke is thick. We need to seal the studio to keep smoke out.
I'll wet some towels and stuff them under the door. That should help.
Good. I'll continue broadcasting. Every minute counts.
Daniel, I want you to know I'm glad I went through this with you. You've been a good colleague and friend.
Likewise, Emily. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met.
Let's not get maudlin. We're not dead yet.
Not yet. This is Daniel Rothman on 91.48 FM. The fires are closing in. Our time is running out. If you're listening, if you're still alive, know that you mattered. Your struggle mattered. Your survival mattered. Don't give up. Even now, at the end, keep fighting. That's what it means to be human. We fight until we can't anymore. The heat is intense. The windows are starting to crack from thermal stress. Emily, we need to move away from the windows.
Where to?
Interior room, smallest space, less surface area exposed to heat.
The supply closet?
Perfect. Bring the portable transmitter. We'll broadcast from there.
I'm setting it up now. We're live from a closet. How's that for professional broadcasting?
We make do with what we have.
Always.
This is Daniel Rothman broadcasting from a supply closet as our building burns. If anyone's still listening, if anyone's still alive, this is for you. You survived longer than most. You fought harder than most. You deserve to live. I hope some of you made it to the evacuation. I hope some of you found other ways to survive. If not, know that your existence had meaning. You were witnessed. You were heard. You mattered.
Daniel, the smoke's getting in. I'm coughing.
Hold on, we're almost done.
What are we waiting for? We should try to get out.
It's too late. The building's engulfed. We wouldn't make it to the stairwell.
So we just sit here and die?
We broadcast until we can't. Then yes.
I'm scared, Daniel.
Me too. This is Daniel Rothman, our final broadcast. If you're hearing this, we didn't make it. But you did. Keep surviving, keep fighting, rebuild when you can. Remember those who died, honor them by living well. This is 91.48 FM signing off. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The transmitter's failing. Battery dying or smoke damage. Emily, it's been an honor.
Same, Daniel. Same.
I'm hearing something. Rotor blades. A helicopter.
You're hallucinating from smoke inhalation.
No, it's real. It's outside. They're landing on the roof.
Someone's evacuating people from the roof? Why didn't the colonel mention that?
I don't know. Come on. We have to try to reach it.
The hallway's full of smoke. We can't see anything.
Stay low. Feel along the wall. The stairwell should be 30 feet ahead.
I'm following. My lungs are burning.
Keep moving. Don't stop.
I see the stairwell door. It's hot. Should we open it?
We have to. There's no other option.
Opening it. The stairs are clear. Smoke's lighter here.
Up. Go up. Roof access is 2 floors.
I'm going. You're right behind me?
Right behind you. Keep climbing.
Roof door. It's locked.
Kick it. Break it. We don't have time for locks.
I can't. It's solid.
Move. Let me.
You got it open. The roof. I see the helicopter. Daniel, we're gonna make it.
Run. Go.
There's someone in the helicopter. They're waving us toward it.
Get in. Hurry.
You first.
Together.
We're in.
We're actually in.
The helicopter's lifting off. We're leaving.
I can see the city below. It's all burning. Everything's burning.
But we're alive. Emily, we survived.
We survived.
The pilot's saying something. They're taking us to a secure facility outside the quarantine. Medical screening, decontamination, then relocation.
Who organized this? Who sent the helicopter?
I don't know. I don't care. We're alive. That's all that matters.
Daniel, look. There are other helicopters. They're pulling people off rooftops across the city.
Someone's mounting a rescue operation. Limited, but it's something.
How many will they save?
Hundreds, maybe. Out of tens of thousands. But hundreds is better than none.
We were so sure we were going to die.
We were. We should have. But we didn't. Luck, fate, providence, whatever you want to call it. We got one more chance.
What do we do with it?
We keep telling the story. We document what happened. We make sure the world knows.
The broadcast is over, but the story continues.
Exactly.
Daniel, thank you for everything.
Thank you, Emily. We did good work.
We did.
The city's disappearing behind us. Smoke and fire. That's the last view. That's what we'll remember.
And the people. We'll remember them too.
Yes, we'll remember.